Oh my god, the desktop audio. You can hear just combat sounds. That's because I'm standing near the brawling area. Heart of the Mists.
Oh my god, the desktop.
Oh, and there's my audio. My god, I'm really loud. I sound like I'm clipping. I sound terrible, guys. What is that? Oh, maybe that's just the quality of the Twitch player. I don't know. That's insane. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to another stream. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit more of that Merciless thing, and we're going to try and be on the Mesmer. So we've got 2 chapters to do, and they're both fairly long chapters, let's be real. But hopefully, actually no, I'll tell you what, the penultimate chapter, which is what we're starting on in a second, isn't that long. But the final chapter is a fairly chunky one. I'm scared of Ketamance, and I'm scared of the Temple of the Sunken God. My god, I'm yawning already. I'm scared of those 2 things, but the rest, I don't know. I think we might have it. It could be pretty good. It's just got so much sustain. The question is, as always, how underwater will go. So we'll have a look at that soon enough. But yeah, hello Redux32. It's been a while, dude. Magic Sapling. Hey, how's it going? My mic's really high, is it? Is it sounding awful? Yeah, it's sounding bad. Okay, all right. Hold on. I think it's Skype is fucking with stuff. Hold on. Yeah, no, there you go. Alright, so that should be better now, yeah? My voice should sound normal again. I would hope so, anyway. Yeah, that was definitely clipping. That definitely sounded bad, but that should be fixed now. Yeah, it's the same microphone. It's just it had too much gain on it. Windows keeps bumping it up. I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that. But, yeah, there you go. Alright, so that should be fixed. I'll just wait for people to confirm that. And then, yeah, we'll get moving with some stuffs. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're going to go in, we're going to play some Merciless. I don't really have many stories for you. I've just been watching a stream of a friend of mine who's been doing some art, Bob Ross style. And he's painting some happy little trees, and he's got a cool lake and mountains and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's it. That's what I've done today. I've done that, I've PvP'd, I've looked into a bit more of the underworld stuff. Nothing else really that interesting going on. No news as far as I've heard it. I've not interacted with Spud in any way. That's it really. So, well, I guess I do have one thing, and that was, do you remember when we played that Temple of the Silent Storm game yesterday, and I said at the end of the game that there was something I'd wanted to explain, but it was too much in the moment, and now I'd forgotten it by the end of the game. What it was to do with this, because I went back and watched the VOD, it was to do with the stillness cap. So, at 8:30, double buff comes up, Tranquility and Stillness. So, Stillness doubles all the nodes, the Tranquility one low down gives you all of the nodes. So, I made what looked like a terrible play in the moment, but it actually wasn't, and I had considered it, and it did go according to plan. So what happened was, I was going to grab Stillness to deny the enemy it, but the Mesmer Chaos stormed me. So at that point, I immediately jumped downstairs to try and interrupt Tranquility, which I was too late on. So in theory, I gave them 6 cap there. It was, in theory, a terrible play, because I was slow to chase their thief down there in the first place, and then I gave them 3 cap on Stillness. It's, in theory, really bad. However, and what I was, as I was falling down the pit, I wanted to explain this. I said, even if I miss the Tranquility, I know that my team, I'm the only one invested in this objective, and I know that there's 2 of their players that are there. I know that there are fights on the relevant nodes, and even if Tranquility, I missed Tranquility with that thief down there, I knew my team would flip it back, which is exactly what happened. I gave them, in theory, 6 cap, but 2 seconds after that, we had neutered every single node across all of the map, across all of Temple of Silent Storm, which is what I knew would happen based on where my teammates were. So that was what I kind of wanted to explain. It was, in theory, a bad play for another reason as well, in that I was fairly low, and I jumped down to engage a thief who could have just insta-killed me. That was the biggest fear. And he didn't aggress in the way I think he could have at that point, so he made a bit of a mistake there as well. But that was everything that was happening all at once. I know that this is going to sound really terrible to you guys listening right now, because you've got no context for what the hell I'm talking about, but people on Wooden Potatoes 2 watching the streams in Serial, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know what I'm talking about. So there you go, that's it really. Let's start the stream off. Let's go get some sweet, sweet coffee, and we'll get in and we'll play the Mesmer. 2 more reward tracks to do, by the way. 2 more before I have all the Warby stuff. And then I don't know what I'll do. I don't know. I'll have to find what the most profitable reward track is and maybe start going for that. Or I'll quit PvP cold turkey, because I'm only in it for the rewards, baby. We all know it. Let's do it. Alrighty then, I'm back. Hello, hello, hello. Hope we're all looking good. Hope we're all ready for the sunset stream. Hope everything's feeling fine. Was this a Sinterklaas? Your Guild Wars 2 in 2009 video was in my recommended videos for some reason. Oh my god, why is the combat so loud? That's ridiculous. Was in my recommended videos for some reason. So I checked it out and I discovered there is now more time between now and that video than that video and Guild Wars 2 in 2009. Oh, why are you telling me that? Why are you telling me that? Why are you telling me that? That doesn't feel good. I'm the same, in the same situation, the same person, stagnant, exactly the same. And you're now telling me all this time has passed. You're right, though. You are right. That's obscene. That's crazy. Think about how much Guild Wars 2 changed in those 4 years I was talking about there. That's crazy. That is actually crazy. Yeah, it was. If people don't know, Archain in chat seems to not know what I meant. It's basically, in 2013, I made a video that looked back at what Guild Wars 2 was in its development demo alpha versions back in 2009. And I guess I showed off trailers and I showed off, I can't really quite remember the specifics of the video. Probably convention footage and stuff. That's crazy, though. That is actually crazy. And the old daily feat system and stuff. You heard rumors about a Soul Beast rework. Anybody can confirm if they've heard the same. Yeah, so Mad Minds, what happened is someone leaked the balance. And and it went up as a paste bin. So we don't know whether it's true, but it looks pretty true. It goes into enough detail to look pretty accurate. And basically, in this, it's page 1 of 3. When I saw it, it was page... Apparently, the other pages have been revealed as well now, but it was page 1 of 3. And at the very top, the devs sort of had a post saying, here's everything we want to change about the game, kind of thing. Here's the big stuff in the patch. And they cite major Soul Beast reworks. I think the word major sneaks in there. So, big Soul Beast. I think they even say something about Renegade as well. And yeah, so that was page 1. Did I get that coffee grinder? I did, Dark Sigma. I did. I told you about it when the very next stream. I just used it a second ago. Soul Beast rework. Why? Well, I don't know from which perspective they're looking at, but from a World versus World / PvP perspective, Soul Beasts are a bit struggling. I mean, Soul Beasts are weird. They're kind of, I think, ArenaNet's first ever attempt at a true jack of all trades elite spec. And by that, I don't mean a hybrid spec. What I mean is, depending on how you build a Soul Beast, it kind of feels like it's got Condi application, it's got power capabilities, it's got tanky capabilities, it's got supporty capabilities, just based on the different pets you merge with, the attributes you gain from that, the utilities you gain and all of that kind of, well, not utilities, but, you know, beast abilities and stuff. And so it feels almost like a bit of a jack of all tradesy kind of thing. Even though I think the daggers have more of a Condi focus, don't they? So I don't know how they're doing that. Maybe they're trying to give it more a sense of identity or whatever. You think Soul Beast is perfectly fun in World vs. World? I can imagine power longbow Soul Beast having a lot of fun in World vs. World, for sure. Just because you've got all that space to play around with. Hello, Pickle1477. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. So, yeah, I mean, that's what they say. I'm only speculating there. That's my guess. Cottage, well, this is good catching WP stream while updating the bestiary page on the Guild Wars 2 wiki. Ooh, I have looked at that, by the way. It looks very good. I don't know, maybe the armor collection, I'm getting funerary armor. What are we talking about here? Thanks, Demon's Bane, for using the coffee emote there. Dark Sigma as well. Redux, Waldeer, good stuff. Dossie says he knew what I was talking about with the temple thing. Yeah, I mean, the reason I wanted to say it in that match is because it's kind of a rare situation, but it's an important one to identify when it's okay to give up Trank. Or to give up Stillness, which is actually what I was giving up. I was giving up Stillness for the... It looks like a much higher risk play than it was, is sort of my point. It looked like a ridiculously high risk play. I should have just stalled Stillness versus the Mesmer. But the Mesmer was a losing matchup. The Thief I knew I could interrupt from 1500 range. I didn't know how early he'd left, because if you remember, he'd prior just stealthed at my close point, and he could have taken longer to get there, but it looks like he booked it immediately and sort of deceived me a bit, which is a good thing to do, really, on his end. But yeah, so that was what was interesting about it, that there are times you can give those buffs up. The more common one is giving up Stillness because you don't have any points anyway. Sorry, giving up Stillness. What's the situation where you give up Stillness? There are totally situations where you can give up Stillness. If they're not going for it and you don't have any nodes anyway, and it's important you book it to a team fight, then you can give up stillness for now, you know. And then catch them as they respawn after you hopefully win the team fight. That's the more winning play. Anyway. You've been binge watching my Zero to Hero run where I play as an engineer, and I sat there wondering how that dog didn't obliterate the potato. What do you mean? What do you mean? We could get back to that camera soon, by the way. Let's see. How long till we get back to that one? Today, we've got Nigel Thornberry potato. And then we have another grumpy potato coming up after that. But this is Nigel Thornberry. Nigel Thornberry! God, that old big TV I used to have. Jesus Christ, look at that thing. I wonder what happened to that. That was a while ago now. That's the Factions trailer we can see there. Not sure what the other stuff is in the background. But yeah. Alright. A lot of fun at the expense of others? Sorry, what do you mean? My introduction to Merciless was tuning into Wayfarers 3 minutes before WP's tune died. His reaction was epic. Was expecting some fun permadeath, got confronted with an obscenely loud 50 Shades advert that I couldn't mute. I'm gonna go now. No, Cherry Tunes! No! Stay! Stay! Alright, let's actually get a roll on. Because most of these streams lately I've been waffling about other stuff way too much. So we'll unbind dodge. Unbind our heal skill. Level 70. Now, we did just get a bunch of hero points, but I'm pretty sure we could only spend them on replacing one of our specializations or on new utilities. So let me just take stock here. This is obviously extremely... No, sorry. Inspiration has been really strong. This trait's been nuts. This trait's been nuts. This trait's been nuts. I wonder if instead of the Defender, we could instead run... Glamours last longer, super speed resist. No, this is obviously the correct Grandmaster to run. There's no question with that. Heal ourselves and lose condies. That's fine. Phantasms gain distortion. No, I think this is all fine. I think we run this. And so here we're... I mean, the Malicious Sorcery was nice in the end for the generation. But I wonder about the other specializations. I wonder if something else would have been better to pick. So Chaos can be fairly tanky. What are the Grandmasters? Stab on Shatter. PU, longer stealths and gain protection and Aegis and stuff. That's pretty nice. I don't know. Condi damage. Less damage straight up for every illusion I have in the world. That's kind of nice as well. So they could, in theory, retool all of this to just say clones. From now on, the word illusion doesn't necessarily need to exist. Because phantasm doesn't have to refer to the entity phantasm. It could just refer to the classification of skill activating it. Don't really care about any mantras, I don't think. I think these have all been really solid for us. I mean, the triple stealth is pretty goddamn nice for peeling away and blink. I don't know. I think we just keep going. Honestly, I know it's a bit boring, but I think we keep going. I think we found a really solid lineup here, and I think we just roll with it. We roll with it, guys. Just turn the music up a little bit. There you go. Now you all like hearing that Shiver Peaks tunage. What about more than 3 clones at a time now? What do you mean? I'll tell you what will be kind of exciting. You know, I just want to titillate you. I want to excite you. Let's see. Where is he? So you know Revenant, right? You know Revenant got a change to Invocation. So Invocation is the Revenant's 5th line, okay? And so it's sort of the thing that deals with the profession itself. So this is to do with energy and stuff, right? Invocation. I'm not running it right now. But Invocation, you know how it got changed and they added this amazing trait? All of these are really cool now, but this one's especially cool. So you get extra energy. You basically get 75 energy instead of 50. You remember this? How cool that is? You know Trickery giving you... I mean, Trickery isn't really the 5th line, but giving you more initiative to work with. You know, Arcane reducing your attunement cooldowns. What I would love to see after the Phantasm and Clone update, right, once it's finished, that opens them up to an idea of a Grandmaster that was not possible before because it would have been too overpowered and just sort of, it would have been off with the way Phantasms used to work. What do you think that Grandmaster could be? It would be an Illusions Grandmaster because it would be to do with illusions. I would have it instead of Malicious Sorcery. I'm not sure what Malicious Sorcery's got anything to do with illusions, except the fact the auto summons illusion generation, but come on. Like, this doesn't really belong in this line. This would get... They could roll Malicious Sorcery into something else. Like, maybe Maim the Disillusioned, it would go together. But what would this Grandmaster be? I'm not saying at the point of the patch, but in the future, something that the Balance team could do and is really exciting. What do you guys think? Oh, Trickery is the 5th line. Okay, there you go. You'd like it if the +3 initiative became baseline. Listen, no, RPO, I don't agree with that. That's just power creep in the wrong way, I think. If you feel like you don't have enough initiative without the +3, then they need to affect the price of initiative everywhere else. I think that the trait needs to stay because it's a fun trait. It's the same as fast hands on warrior. If warriors can't get by without fast hands, it's not that fast hands should be baseline and they sort of break how the game works and interacts with traits. It's not that fast hands should be baseline. It's that warrior needs to be retooled and tuned so that they don't feel like they need fast hands all the time. With fast hand nonetheless preserved because it's a cool trait, right? That's what it needs to be. I don't agree with making that shit baseline. I agree that there should be change, but not that it should be going baseline. DJ EZ says create 2 illusions. No. What all I'm saying, guys, is extra capacity. Gain +1 illusion. You see, you get 3 dots. You could have 4. +1 capacity. That doesn't work in a world with phantasms as they are right now. It's ridiculous. It doesn't work. Because you'd always, yeah, especially for a lot of these like high uptime phantasm things, it would be ludicrous. But once the change has gone through, there's no reason why a Grandmaster trait in the illusions line that gives you +1 illusion capacity couldn't exist. How exciting is that? I haven't read that anywhere on the internet. I've not heard anyone discuss that possibility, but I wholeheartedly believe in that. I think that could be really good. And by the way, that would feel a lot like, let me just say here. Me show you. I want to actually log in on the characters so that you really understand. That would be a lot like another beautifully designed specialization, Holo Smith. So with Holo Smith, they also have a capacity increasing trait, don't they? If you have a look. Why? Why, ArenaNet? Why? Do you think I care about fighting a random bear that's attacked me on the side of a cliff that there's nothing notably around? Okay, so check it out. Increase maximum heat capacity, and then check it out. Some skills and traits gain additional heat tiers, gain additional effects when you're above that capacity. Well, that's true for Mesmer as well, isn't it? If you had a +1 capacity thing, that would mean your shatters currently get stronger the more illusions you have out. In fact, the trait as well that heals us does the same. So, or at least Mind Rack. I don't know, actually. Hold on. It's only Mind Rack, isn't it? Diversion doesn't get stronger. Cry of Frustration doesn't get stronger. Distortion doesn't get stronger. It's only Mind Rack. Well, so look, Mind Rack would have an even stronger coefficient on it for having 4 illusions up. And your heals per illusion would be stronger as well. I mean, it would be cool. No one's really responding in chat. Do you guys not care about it? The Grinder says +1 illusion capacity would be like Fast Hands on Warrior. It would be a must-have. Well, so the actual point with that would be is the illusion line as a whole needs to be in power creep with everything else, and then also it's the juxtaposition with the other Grandmasters. And I think it would be such a good juxtaposition here as well, because look at what it's against. It's against Master of Fragmentation. So you can't have 4 illusions and the OP shatters at the same time. Like that's held in check immediately, right? You can't have that. And you can't have 4 illusions and, I don't know, whatever the fuck Phantasmal Force becomes in the end anyway. Stronger Phantasms, or I don't know what... It depends what this is going to become. They might even make that what I'm talking about here eventually. I don't know. But so that holds it in check, right? What you're actually competing with is what's in the same tier with it. Oh, Ewendell says, I basically suggested all of that yesterday, but you never saw it. Really? When? Sorry, WP, I just have you in the background and I'm lurking. Love you. Dara TV, you're not alone, man. Most people do that. This is why streaming PvP is good, because as people said, it actually makes them watch. Holo's heat gauge could have more synergy with NG's base weapons. I agree with that. I think that would be really nice. Some perks on rifle for having higher heat. Some perks on pistol. I don't think shield needs anything. It's only the auto that the sword benefits anyway, isn't it? Currently, few builds focus on maintaining heat, but either try to overheat as fast as possible or avoid overheating altogether. That doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? Avoid overheating altogether. Surely that is maintaining heat. What are you talking about? I think as a PvP holo, you definitely try to maintain heat. You try to stay over 50% and rip people to pieces, but you don't want to go too high. You want to keep access to those abilities for as long as you possibly can. You want the extra damage. I think I've played a fair amount of holo at the moment in PvP, and I'd say I maintain my heat. I mean, sometimes you dip out for the poke damage and the range damage, but, you know. I'm not quite sure what more you're asking for. It would be nice to have more of a place for that Grandmaster, though, for sure. Oh, you mean maintaining between the 100 and 150 that Grandmaster offers? Yeah, that's fair enough, man. That's fair enough. I get what you mean, yeah. Even if that doesn't have a perfect place, that last trait, I still love the design of Holo. I still think they did amazing. I think that should be, like, the bar. You know, I watched a Let's Play of... There's a PlayStation... Well, it's not even just a PlayStation 2 series anymore, is it? But Ratchet and Clank, right? I'm big fans of it. I'm big fans of Insomniac games. And some of the developers that made my favorite Ratchet and Clank games, i.e. 1, 2, and 3... after they left the company, they did a Let's Play, a developer Let's Play of the entire game. And they have all these fascinating insights into game development and the way that things work and how their company did things. One of the really interesting things that they talked about, though, was one of the designers talked about a level that he made for Ratchet and Clank 2. And the balance he struck in that level of platforming versus action and how the action sequences went, essentially... They loved the gameplay loop. They loved the experience that level presented so much that essentially defined what Ratchet and Clank was thereafter. Like, that was when they found their moment. That was when they were like, okay, this is how our game works. This is what's really fun. This is our example. This is our go-to. And I'll tell you what Holo Smith is. It's the same thing, but for elite specializations. To me, I think that it really, really does nail things so well with the way it has its 3 lines structured and stuff. With how visual the skills are. I mean, the problem is it's kind of a tropey specialization too, in that it does, oh, get another form. So many specializations have sort of been that, or a variant of that. If you think of Reaper, if you think of Berserker, if you think of... does Soul Beast really count? But it's kind of a thing, you know. There you go, Researcher Rake. I don't even have to res you for this mission, but I'll do that for you. So that sort of counts against Holo Smith to me, but aside from that, it's great. You like the PvP ones more than the PvE ones? Well, I hope to do some more. A couple of people donated saying they wanted more, so yeah. I don't know, I'm a bit concerned though, because I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of ego with PvP. I was playing a match earlier, and some guy was like, on the other team was like, because today, all my games today, everybody's recognized me and known who my Ellie is. And they were just basically talking shit, like, oh, I hate WP. I was like, why would you hate me? I've got no opinion about you. I've never been mean about you. I don't know whether it's just sort of... I don't know why it is, but it really puts me off. Alright, we got to be careful of this. And I've never liked that about PvP. Like, a lot of immature, just shit-talking always going on. Like, it's just like, I don't know. We'll watch here. Anyway, I don't want to bring the topic down. Deadeye is weird, but fun. That's a good way to describe Deadeye, I think, actually. That's definitely a good way to describe Deadeye. I'm distorting there, because they're kind of all in my face, and I wanted the heal as well, so that we can chain back to the 2, and then do another shatter. This is honestly so good, guys. This is so good. Okay. Oh, we're actually getting chunked right now. Do they build Frenzy? I don't know whether they build Frenzy. Okay. Give you guys some combat audio. Thought you were using a PvP chat tab only with guild in it. No. I haven't done that. That was my Season 5 strategy. That was what I did in Season 5. And in Season 5, I didn't play Season 5 as Wooden Potatoes or anything. Not really. I talked about it on stream a bit, and I talked about getting a bit stressed out at certain things. But really, I didn't... I mean, my Thief is very unrecognizable, and, like, I didn't really that wasn't to do with me. But it seems some people just sort of resent the idea of what they consider a PvE ever daring to go into the game. It's a bit like the world versus world thing, actually, I think, anyway. And there's definitely an expectation that if you like the story in the game, or if you at all know anything else about the game, you must be trash. There's definitely an expectation there. And I think people don't like that. So their initial impression is, oh, he must be bad, and then they don't really want to budge from it. So that also feels a bit shit. But hey, I guess that's human nature, right? Do you know about disturbed mocks? Disturbed mocks? No, I don't. Why don't you teach me about that? What is that? I actually remember seeing your Char Thief on Frosty's stream a while ago. Now, that scares me, because I never played Thief that well. I think I got pretty good eventually, but Season 5 was like me properly getting into DP Thief for the first time in years. I think I started doing okay. I don't know. I'm a bit concerned about that. What do you have a memory of that? That was ages ago, man. That was like a year ago. Oh, you... Trahan! Trahan with the knockbacks. I'm trying to shatter them here, man. I'm trying to torment them up. Outrageous. This is why the personal story is hard. Oh, I am Disturbed Mox, and I am top 500 Europe, and I want to play with you. What? Is this a joke? Is that copy pasta? Yeah, but back then in Season 5, that was when I used a PvP. That was when I sort of cold chat away or whatever. But again, that was just because mostly there was like, in Season 5, there was like, what you guys have got to understand is when you get out of the thick end of the bell curve, you're going to see the same people game in, game out, game in, game out, game in, game out. And not only that, but sometimes the game will match you with the same allies and the same enemies like 3-4 games in a row. It happens a lot. And this is something that would be solved if we can invigorate it with a bit more population. But for now, and even in Season 5, it was like that. And so, yeah, if someone gets it in their head that they really don't like you for one reason or another, and especially if they're quite toxic, it will go like full-on like bullying mode, full-on like utter blatant shit-talking, like hardcore. And I was experiencing that in Season 5 a little bit, which proper sucked. Sorry, Disturbed Mox, but unlike you, who is low enough to duo queue, Wooden Potatoes isn't. Actually, I was in duo queue range earlier. I might even be again. No, I'm right at the bottom of Plat 2 again now. I proper tanked earlier today. I tanked like hard. I tanked like 7 losses in a row. And then I won like 7 in a row again, which was kind of bizarre, but yeah. I played quite a lot today. I did a full reward track before this stream today. That's all I've done. I had some fucking good moments, though. I actually, to anybody who recognizes this, on a Fresh Air Ellie, which, by the way, has burst, but not sustained DPS, I 1v1 soloed a druid on his node, which I only went to because I was peeling out low from a mid-fight and had no other opportunity at the time. And I actually fucking soloed a druid. Because today I've been learning how, as a Weaver, if you guys don't know, but on a Weaver you don't get access to certain skills that you do on regular Ellie so easily. Phoenix is one of the biggest ones. If you play core Fresh Air, Phoenix is really easy to access every time you go to Fire Attunement, and Phoenix is a fucking bomb of a hit. Even after the patch that, you know, stopped it from multi-packet hitting after it became a raiding thing. Even after the patch, Phoenix is an insane burst. But when you play the Weaver variant, you really don't get easy access to Phoenix. It's mostly about a different skill, Plasma Beam. Technically, Phoenix is there, though. So today, I've been experimenting with how easily I can start rotating back into Phoenix and how worth it is. And especially for cleaving bodies, because this build has got it's got burst but no cleave potential. It's so bad. That's like the main difference with it than the other big builds that I've been playing lately. Other builds can wreck shit over downstate bodies. The Weaver just sort of stands there and like pisses on it with the little piddly little laser beam, and that's it. So yeah, I've been trying to get into Phoenix, and I rotated through Phoenix in the 1v1 on the Druid, and he ate everything. He ate 100% of the Phoenix, like 3 different packets of Phoenix. He ate every single part of the Plasma Beam, and he ate all of my follow-up air burst through a mode with Arcane Blast. It was amazing, and I probably got lucky crits as well, and he died. It had literally, I mean, that was a game I think I lost as well. It was probably a game I lost. If I've been pressured so bad, I've ended up rotating into that fucking fight. But even though I lost it, and like the next game after it as well, I still had a smile on my face. I was like, I can't believe I just killed a fucking druid. We're just going to pretend he played well, guys. We're going to pretend. It's fine. This mission used to threaten the hell out of me, but on this Mesmer, it's so easy. Jesus Christ. I'm going to say that and just die now. These are the crate, which are super dangerous, as we all remember. I'm going to go for an early decoy there, just to get the generation rolling. Let's pull back. Block again. No, he got knocked down by Zhaitan with his greatsword whirl. So we'll just auto shatter. I don't even want to use this anymore. I mean, confusing images was most of our damage on this character early on. But now I don't really want to use it. What's that animation? That animation there proper chunks me. I mean, I am actually a bit concerned right now. We're pulling back. So, wait. Yesterday we were saying that was a CC. That's not a CC. This is Signet of Midnight. The CC one's the other Condi one. Do you think a Grandmaster trait that allows generated clones by the new Phantasm skills to instantly use Mind Rack would work? That's an idea. It might be a bit weird and specific. I really just think +1 illusion capacity, guys. I really think that's going to be amazing. I'm going to stun break that. He missed with his attack. It looks like because the NPCs have been on the other one, they've actually been pressuring harder than me, so we'll do this. So, by the way, if this dies before Zhaitan, it will be because of Temple of the Undead, the god or whatever. Oh, I need to actually advertise that the stream's going on as well. Hold on, let me do that. After this fight, before we go into the cave, which is the scary bit. Okay, good. All right. That is it, right? Or is there a Hylic wave as well? There might be a wave of Hylic coming. Sorry, I'm being kind of bad at chat. It's because I've got multiple monitors set up at the moment, and you guys are like way off on my right. So there we go. Let's move that. What's this? It's not that uncommon if you can surprise the druid. Well, yeah, and it depends what they're running as well. Some of them are actually squishy than you'd realize. But this was not what I was expecting to do. Getting close to the Monka S part of this instance. So what does Monka S actually mean, by the way? It's an emote, I know that, but what emotion does it represent? Because Valen, you say Monka S a lot, or Monka Ass a lot on your stream. I've noticed this since I've started lurking a little bit more. Come to EU, we can tank together. I mean, I just have a lot of variants, because the build, Fresh Air is not a good build, really. And so, like, if you have a little bit of a foothold, it can snowball you to victory hard. If you're a little bit under the threshold, it will get pressured and just lose. That's sort of part of the course, really. Monk is scared. All right, wait. Let me actually tell people I'm streaming so we get some viewers in here. All right, let me first Discord. In case anybody doesn't know. Boom. And I'll throw a tweet out as well. I should do a video. I haven't advertised a stream on a video for ages, which is really how we get our viewers. Like we could, but I've been refraining from doing it because I haven't had many other videos for you all to watch. And I don't like spamming them out because people will just say, do you even do YouTube anymore? Blah, blah, blah. I should have done that today, probably. I should have done that today. Oh, well. All right, here we go. Let's go through. You saw rumors that Confusion will be changed to work a bit like Blind you mentioned yesterday. Got any build ideas if that goes through? Well, so the leak, since making that video, the leak came out. The leak actually suggests it's the other change and that it's just... it's reverting back to its launch functionality, and maybe for PvP only? I don't know. In PvE, they might keep the passive damage. And I'm actually really happy with that change, because if you guys remember, I really didn't like the change to Confusion before. So I think that's fine. from that, I mean, Mesmer's just going to change a lot in theory. I'm trying to think of the current Mirages that are running around, the Mirage builds that I understand, the Axe and Sword ones. They still have a lot of Condi Burst. Because they can still, if they use their torch properly, they'll spike you with 7 burn as they arrive on you. And they do put out a reasonable amount of torment as well. This is pretty bad. Grubs do hurt. I don't know. It just depends what that coefficient feels like. It depends how the confusion feels after the change, right? It really does. Probably be more fun to play against and play around now. So that's good. If it became the burner condition, I don't really know what kind of build I would have gone with. Morning WP, do you think my favorite elite spec Scrapper will become relevant again soon? What I think Scrapper needs is some kind of buff to the function gyro. But I don't know. I don't understand Scrapper well enough because I sort of missed a lot of when Scrapper was actually relevant and people were playing it a lot. I didn't really understand that. I'm guessing you're talking about PvP there. If you're talking about PvE making Scrapper relevant, it could also have been very interesting. All they'd need to do is make a Fractal or a raid that has perpetually dying allies that need to be revived to complete some kind of mechanic. And you have them off of the side of the boss, and then boom, people run Scrappers. Because what they do is they utilize the function gyro to go off and do the reses for them while the Scrapper can continue doing boss DPS. That also incentivizes some other skills maybe for raiding and Fractal scene, like I mean, obviously people use search and rescue anyway. But I mean, there's a lot of interesting things about that. Search and rescue now blinks the body to the druid, right? So you might not want search and rescue for this specific mechanic because you might not want to pull the ally into the boss because it might die, or then once it's rezzed, it's got to run all the way over to do its thing or whatever. Let's say there's allies that need to pull levers or something and they die near the levers. You wouldn't want to search and rescue. You wouldn't want to pluck the body next to you. So it could do stuff like that. I don't know. I think that would be but that would just be on a one encounter basis, right? If we're talking about a more global thing for Scrapper, for PvE, PvE doesn't ask for very much, so it's just sort of a question of damage. You put it too high and it's either better or worse than Holo, you know? Because PvE just doesn't... Not enough mechanics are relevant. Not enough tools are relevant in PvE for much else to matter a lot of the time. I don't know, what else? Scrapper could be good for in PvE? I don't know, man. I don't know. I sort of feel like Scrapper should be sort of a high CC class. I'd like to see it just get a ton of break bar damage come back. Maybe that would be a cool thing for raids. If the break bar king of the game was Scrapper, I'd like that. That might be because I'm just sort of remembering when Heart of Thorns came out, and they were because of Slick Shoes. Like if you had Slick Shoes and you ran through a large hitbox boss, like Gorseval, you would utterly devastate his break bar. It was really cool. That obviously specifically was broken, but if they just had consistent, really solid access to heavy break bar damage, that might be a nice space for it to be in as a Scrapper. I don't know. Any thoughts on the World vs. World rebuilding? I think it's really exciting, man. I think it's really exciting, and I'm hoping at some point to sit down with the Spud GMs and figure out what's going on. By the way, we're still desperately looking for North American GMs. If you're interested in World vs. World, if you want to make Spud a World vs. World thing, if you want to help out in any way, please do think about it. We're still looking for NA GMs. The NA side of the community needs a shepherd to lead it into the sunset or whatever the fuck. Right? We really do. Man, this mission you're on used to bug for me constantly at launch. Every tune run through would take well over 30 minutes to an hour due to the AI just completely broken. It's funny how most anecdotes people seem to have about this stuff is, oh, it broke. Oh, this instance broke. Oh, this instance broke. But yeah, as for the format itself, I think it's good. I really do think it's good. I think the only downside is people clinging to experiences of the past that they will no longer have. They're clinging to the fact they identify as Pecan Square there, or Piken. They're clinging to their identification as a Blackgate member or whatever, but you'll have your alliances now. It should be more meaningful. It's interesting that the NPCs actually appear as party members on this, by the way. They're called ally followers. Ally being the term that referred to these in Guild Wars 1, actually. NPC assistants that weren't actually in your party. And certain skills hit allies and certain skills hit party members. Perfect illustration of a monk-ass moment is when a fresh air weaver on the other team and you're playing a necro without support. Okay, so what? It's just being annoyed, is it? Is that what that is? Fuck, man. The fact that Scourge is meta and Fresh Air Weaver can just, like, po on them is, like, one of the only redeeming things about Fresh Air at the moment. Bring on those juicy Scourges. I was talking to Condemned earlier about the difference between playing Fresh Air Ellie versus Power Mesmer, because they're very similar if you think about it, like role-wise, they're extremely similar roles. And we were just talking about which one's, you know, probably better, and it's I think obviously it's Mesmer. Mesmer can actually global a Scourge. Fresh Air can't global a Scourge. Unless it has a really amazing Phoenix or something, but they're slow. They can be easily dodged and stuff. The Mesmer can do it. The Mesmer has probably the most important thing of all, stealth. A role like that, stealth is just so strong. And Fresh Air can't do fuck all about that. So I don't know. But there are some interesting distinctions between the two. Hey Sean, how's it going? So Sean in chat is the friend of mine that I was talking to you guys about, who was painting Bob Ross style. If you guys go and click him in chat, that guy Sean_Wood, he's the dude that he's learning how to paint. He only started learning after New Year, and he's already like amazing at it. And he's not like I'm not trying to be mean here, Sean. He's not like some amazingly talented, intelligent, incredible guy. He's just a nerd, like probably you listening to the stream are. He's a nerd just like me. He's just a guy. And he suddenly is a really good painter in just a couple of weeks. It's actually insane. So yeah, I was watching this stream. He had 3 to 5 viewers. Go give him some follows. I'm sure you'll be entertained. Thoughts on Condi Necro? In what capacity? World versus World? PvE? PvP? Merciless? The true game type? The game type to rule them all? Rip, just a guy. Now he knows what I mean. May I share the product of my stream? Yeah, bro. Yeah. Here, guys, seriously. Here, I'll permit him. Permit Sean. Words. There you go. He can post a link. Look at this link that he'll post. Seriously, this is the painting he made. A random Guild Wars 2 nerd, right? That just started learning. As I understand, it's a good change for the World vs. World community, especially tight and focused guilds. But for people who used to hop in and out of World vs. World from time to time, the change is not going to be good. Well, here's the thing, Ailes. What do you think about this? The people who do just hop in from time to time, that's a high look. We got to be careful of them. They fuck us up. Thank God for decoy. People like that, aren't they really sort of only there for rewards anyway? I don't know. I feel like if you're not a part of a community at all, you're probably in there for pips. How many people... Here's what we're actually asking. Here's the actual question. This is what the real thing to wonder about is. How many people play World vs. World as a solo player who has immense server pride? And I don't think it can be that many people. And I'll tell you why I don't think it can be that many people. Why the fuck are you proud of Blackgate when you don't know any of the actual people who run in it? You just maybe know a commander or two based on their tag. But you don't visit their TS. You're not a member of any of their guilds. You have no deeper connection with them, right? Why? Where's that pride coming from? I mean, I think that's a bit pathetic if you're proud of it and you don't actually know any of them on any level. It just seems to me that people who are really invested in their server are probably in the guilds associated with that server. Probably. I don't deny that there's a couple out there who aren't in that, and that's perfectly reasonable and okay. And anyone listening and in that situation to me right now feeling bad, it's fine. I'm just saying that you are probably a small enough slice of the population that the devs don't need to fear you. That good change can be made. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's your expense because you're a rarity. Yeah? Does that make sense? That's sort of my feelings as an outsider looking in. I don't know whether I'm way off the mark. I could be. Most people just play it for rewards. Yeah, I mean, literally when I was doing it, I was playing it to 1v1 people. It's funny because at that time I wasn't PvPing. And I was winning just like all my 1v1s because I was playing Condi Chrono and it's like the ultimate 1v1. I was running it with Phantasmal Disenchanter as well. So it would just like be everything. There was one, what was the build that was really a struggle? I can't remember. Anyway, it was really weird because I think quite a few PvPers do 1v1s in World vs. World as well, because I started getting invites to people's teams. They'd be like, do you want to come play with me? I haven't played PvP since Season 5, no. You remember sniping me in World vs. World? Bullshit! Do you remember sniping me in World vs. World? What is this? Sniping. Deadeye wasn't out yet, and I've never streamed it. Actually, I did once. Oh, I did do a World vs. World stream once, and everybody started running over and trying to kill me. Were you there, Valen? Really? At that time? That was a while ago, man. There we have it. Screw the minorities. Yeah, essentially, that's exactly what I'm saying. Screw the minorities. Yeah. You don't factor in a tiny proportion of the community's opinion with large things with the game. You just don't. It's just not smart. It's not the... At the end of the day, you want to cater to as many people as possible. That double CC there, though. Trajan's Greatsword's so weird. It's like got Mesmer abilities on it. It's got Greatsword abilities on it. Guardian Greatsword, that is. He wasn't hardcore sniping, just fighting you whenever you could handle it. There were some thieves that were pretty brutal out there, if I remember rightly. Eventually, I got taken to near one of the monuments. I spent like a week doing this. Eventually, all I did was I just stood between one of the monuments near a sentry, and we had a little 1v1 area, and we would just 1v1 people, and you'd always end up with an audience there, and it would just be we would flip it to keep our participation up, and then they would flip it to keep our participation up, and on and on and on and on. Backing off when I got swarmed. I mean, it's so, that build was so broken in World vs. World at the time. The World vs. World's amazing because it makes what you know are broken builds from PvP so much more broken because you can just consolidate the stats so deeply in one direction. Like you can run gear that's locked off. Like I was running Dire. You're not allowed Dire in TPvP because they know it's ridiculously broken and OP. But World vs. World, go for it. Yeah, let's run Dire. You get all these like nutty consumables and stuff. And especially when you got high mobility and stealth, and you can just like cheesily break fights and then, you know, counter comp someone by immediately retraiting and then dive back in before they've even fully reset and shit. It's just ridiculous. If you try to take World vs. World competitively, it's like it sort of breaks at the seams immediately. But I don't know. People think it's competitive, and I guess that's all that matters, really. Let's actually break his bar here. See, I used the signet stupidly there. That's actually even that fight was easy. That used to be intimidating, but there you go. Alright. That's a long instance. I'll tell you what, the majority of this chapter is that one instance. The rest of the chapter shouldn't take too long. DP Bound Thief. Just all the stealth forever in World vs. World. I mean, I classically remember 2012, 2013. It was really annoying roaming because you'd fight thieves and... it was always SR and then they'd leave. That was it. It was always just, oh, you're going to win Shadow Refuge and you leave. It was just so unsatisfying. Just so unsatisfying. Always. Alright, let's keep going south. First time you did that instance as a thief, you were permadead? Really? That one there? Clearly you needed the power of clones to sustain you through your zero armor setup. What two builds are ruining roaming? So one of the scary things, maybe you guys have got some opinions about this, because I don't. I didn't experience any of this, and I'd be keen to hear what people think in retrospect now. But a big thing in World vs. World for a while was Ghost Thief, right? So if people don't know what this is, it's a condition damage-oriented thief. And in Guild Wars 2, when you're stealthed, if you hit someone with a packet of damage, flat damage, you'll get unstealthed, and you'll get a debuff on you called Revealed, which means you can't re-stealth until it's gone. The only way to get around Revealed now is Deadeye, which has an elite that can do it, okay? But if you use condition damage instead, you don't actually do any flat damage. You only put condies on someone. You don't get stealth broken. You don't get Revealed. So you can stay permanently invisible and condi bomb people. And this got quite potent because of some... I don't know what the exact change was that spurred it on. But at some point before POF, maybe 6 months before POF, something like that, So we're not talking about that long ago. About this time a year ago, maybe even less. World vs. World has kind of been plagued by this flavor of the month thief build, which was known as the Ghost Thief, and it was just a perma stealth thief. That I mean, how do you counter something that you can't see? I literally remember advising people to go Scrapper so that they could run that trait that means if you hit someone, it reveals them, and then just spam nades around you or whatever. And then maybe run utility goggles. But people hated that. That's one of the main thing I've heard ruined roaming. But I wasn't actually in World vs. World much at the time of it, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm naked too. Merciless is I can't dodge, I can't heal, I can't wear armor. It's basically as hard as we can make the game. Yeah. And then we see how we can, through builds, beat it. So yeah, now that it has been nerfed, right, as well, guys? So what do you think? Is Ghost Thief over? Was it that bad looking back? Have there been worse flavor of the month builds? I'm actually quite curious. Has anything ever been worse than Ghost Thief? If so, type it out. Come on, I know loads of you are alt-tabbed. Get your asses back in there. Spellbreaker actually loses to DP Thief because it starves it out. In what format is that? Does it really? Does a good Spellbreaker die to a DP Thief? I mean, in some of these matchups, they just depend on space, though. They depend on what, you know, how quickly can one of the players be neutered versus the other? Can they be neutered at all? How much room have you got to kite? Don't you think removing dodge and armor just prevents you from playing certain builds, like you're forced to play AI builds? No, I mean, actually, to tell you the truth, I've only beaten it on AI-related stuff so far. But we've got very far, and we've done very well on a lot of builds that have no AI at all. The game's actually way more interesting when there's no AI, definitely. But, like, Rev is very cool. And if that means that AI builds are easier, then yeah, that's fine. But Engineer also, by the way. There's other things, like Engi's not necessarily AI, but it's also quite easy. Because the rules are very clear about what you can and can't do. You can't click this slot, right? That's what no healing means. You can get healing through any other means. You cannot click this slot though. So that means I can run this signet. But really importantly for Engineer, what it means is you can run medkit and just press F1 and it's sort of like you get your heal back. So that's a no pet build, but it's also fairly comfortable at beating Merciless. It also can just kite for days, throwing grenades behind it and mortars and stuff. Now that we've seen how easy this is, by the way, it's just very low pressure and boring to watch. I think probably the hardest is Warrior. But I don't know for sure. Hey, Anvi, how's it going? Everyone should have their gems, by the way, including Sarah now, by the way, which took ages to actually give. I mean, this instance is going to take ages as well, actually. This chapter is not many instances, but it's going to be a bit of a grind out. It says, escort them to the battleground. I can't just skip ahead, can I? I don't think I can. Mirage is the same, they disengage. Yeah, I can imagine Sword Mirage and World vs. World being horrible to fight. Because, yeah, why wouldn't they just leave? They would just disengage and go every single time. I mean, that's already true in Conquest with smaller, more restricted maps. In World vs. World, they're just completely unrestricted. Every class must have some sort of healing that is independent from clicking your heal skill. Exactly, yeah. Which they all do. So, I mean, NG's the only one that doesn't have signets, and it has the med kit F1, which is nice. Everyone else has that signet. Thief is what I really want to beat this on. Thief is what I was doing before this Mesmer. We were actually taking a very short break from Thief, and then this actually became a class that's going really fast, so... But Thief is what I actually want to beat on. Thief is nice, fast, good gameplay, high pressure, and Thief can heal like mad with Pistol, Signet of Malice, and Invigorating Precision. Plus it gets 25 might, which helps to make up for the fact you get no power on any of your armor and stuff. So it sort of just gets normal damage. So I really want to be on Thief. I think Thief could be really fun. My god, he moved really weirdly there. We might go back to that, but I'm also, I don't know, I kind of want to go do some Path of Fire. People actually are vaguely interested in watching PvP as well at the moment, so I might start factoring that into the streams, I don't know. You haven't leveled a tune without tomes. I mean, these are technically tomed as well. Yeah, we need to move out of range of that now because the next one will kill us. That's fine. Now that I'm reasonably healthy and he's over there, I'll go back to Greatsword. I'm really looking forward to Tuesday. This balance looks solid. It looks like they're actually doing... Like, what I like most about the Mesmer change is that they've got some balls and they're doing something, like, substantial to one of the classes. I really think it's a good idea. I'm really happy to see that, because if you think about it from Robert's perspective, that's the guy that's behind this change, presumably, and gave us the posts. He's probably... His job right now is probably to make the next Mesmer specialization as well. And do you know what might be really interesting? What do you guys think that the next Mesmer specialization could be like a Phantasm style thing? Maybe they want to make an AI... Basically what I'm saying is this Mesmer patch, it could just be as much about the balance of the game today as it might be so that they've created some space for an upcoming Mesmer spec. And that's why Robert's doing it. Because they want to do like an AI Mesmer bit thing. They want to give you Phantasms back or something on the next Elite specialization. Or you know, what they want to do for the next specialization clashes with Phantasms too much. They've never quite liked the dynamic between shattering clones and Phantasms right now anyway, so they're making this change. But my point is, you know, Robert's got all that. It's really about Elite specializations at the moment. So to also do big changes like that is cool. You know, I'd love to see it for some of the other classes as well. Ebrithil says, hey WP, I'm glad I could catch your stream for once. I'm glad you could catch it too. It's great to see you. Hope you're all doing alright. It's a bit boring, to be honest, the Mesmer Merciless, but hopefully we'll have some good chat in the meantime. Kalek donated earlier. Kalek? Really? Kalek. Kalek3 says, good evening WP. I had a hard time catching a stream at the weekend, so I'm glad I caught you too today. I hope everything's going well for you. Yeah, it certainly is, man. I've had a nice day. Nice, easy, relaxing, normal day. And it's good to see. Is there a Merciless leaderboard? No. Unfortunately not. A lot of people have told me that they've ran it. Jebro has publicly ran this, and I've done a lot of streams publicly running it. But nobody really streams it or makes videos of it. I think probably there's maybe 10 to 15 people who have played Merciless before. But all I get is like anecdotes, like, hey WP, I beat on an Ellie, or hey WP, I just beat on a Mesmer, or I think those are the two most recent ones. And some of the earlier challenges I did that weren't quite Merciless, we had a lot of similar ones as well. Those Drakes were moving really weird. But it's not like I've actually aggregated them and kept them on the leaderboard. The collision between specializations was exactly what came to mind when I heard about the Phantasm changes. Really, Waldir? So what's your idea, man? What do you think that they'll do for the next one? What other classes could I see a big revamp on, like of this scale? Good question. I'd like to see Necromancer minions go through something similar. I'd like them to actually figure out what Minimancy is. I'd love to see if, I mean, we were talking about it the other day, if they brought corpse exploitation and stuff back, I think that'd be really interesting. I don't know. Because I just think it's such a boring playstyle and it's so just like untapped. But maybe that's a bad answer. What else is there? I'd like to see some gadget changes on the engineer. I think gadgets are a cool utility class, and I like the trait, the overcharging trait, but they're just not sort of solid enough right now. I'll tell you what I want more than anything though, guys. It's a rune overhaul. I want them to standardize like different rune sets, figure out what they're going to do. I want special actions on runes. If a rune gives you a passive, I want it to trigger a special action that you press to actively use the passive. So it's an active instead, it just unlocks it for you. I want to see stuff like that. I want to see runes split away from stats. I want to see a lot of things in that department. They did a big sigil update for PvP within the last year, I think it was, which has generally been okay. Holy shit, he wasn't even anywhere near me. We will rally, right? He wasn't even near me, was he? Jesus Christ, that's actually kind of scary there. This is the last chapter before we get Signet at Agony, by the way, which isn't really great on Mesmer, but there it is. So yeah, I'd like to see. I mean, they should look at that as well. I saw one thing that really frustrates me with ArenaNet is they'll put a big change in, and then they're too hands off with it afterwards. They're 2 hands off. That sigil update is like 2 patches away from having been a real success right now. Like 1 or 2 more patches, just looking at the sigils, looking at the numbers, which ones people run and why, and just tuning them, balancing them out a little bit more, and we'd be sorted. It is better than it used to be when it was just, yeah, run air and fire and blah, 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 just run that shit all the time. It is better. There is a bit more diversity and a bit more play and choice, but only a little bit, you know? So I want to see them just up that just a little bit more. It's like 1 or 2 patches away from having been really good. So that... Oh my god, what was the timing on that? I was channeling a block, and just as it ended, he finally exploded. That was some utter BS. This is annoying. What triggers your OCD, sorry? How far down the pile do you think the rune overall is? I would love one as well, but it seems so distant. What, a rune update? I reckon a PvP rune update would come before anything else, just because the sigil thing had a rebalance. And in PvE, there's like matters of economy and stuff to think about. I don't know whether it's even on the pile, though. The devs have never actually talked about it being on the pile, have they? Pull back here. But like rune diversity would be so like for PvP. Here's a really simple change. I think that they could do really simple. Literally just delete all the stats off of all of the runes, so none of them have it there. You don't even have to roll that power into the amulets. You can if you want. You can make all the amulets like give them another plus 100 attributes worth of points spread across their 3 or 4 stats or whatever. You could do that so that the strength of the rune is now built into the amulet as well. But just delete any pure stat boosting thing on a rune. Just delete it all, and then just leave the perks on there. And you're done. And I think immediately with that, you would see a lot more interesting choices being made on various builds about which rune people want to run. Like, it would blow it wide open. Like, you'd have power runes more interested in running runes of the adventurer. Sorry, power builds more interested in running adventurer runes. You'd have all kinds of stuff. I mean, Condi builds wouldn't run Scholar or whatever, if you get what I mean. But, I mean, it would just... I'm not... That seems so simple to me. I'm not sure... That I must be missing something obvious as to why the devs haven't done that. You'd like to see statistics on how many people run Rune of the Sanctuary. I'd actually considered it on a Harrier Firebrand spec, but then I realised there were better options. Rune of the Sanctuary... What one's that? Is that not the one that turns you into a block of ice? No, that doesn't exist anymore, does it? And that was... What was Rune of the Sanctuary? I mean, with the current population, I'm sure barely anyone does. I'm sure there's a lot of runes at the moment. For NA, at least. I'm sure there's a lot of runes that literally no one is running right now. Seriously, no one is running. I bet no one is running. What's an example, I wonder? Oh, I don't know. But they will be there. They will really be there. Like Rune of the Afflicted, right? Explode when you go downstate. And only Condi builds get to run it right now. Who the fuck's running Rune of the Afflicted? I've never killed someone and seen them explode with a Rune of the Afflicted. Actually, I tell a lie. I think I killed an MM maybe a week ago that was running that. But that's just Death Nova procking on them, isn't it? So no, it's not. It's not the. It's not that rune. Mad King runes. Yeah, I can safely say through all, what is it now? 200 games maybe I've played since I came back at Season 9. I've not played a single person who runs Mad King runes. Not a single person, not one soul have I ever seen running that. But I mean, Boots is out there, and he's bumping the average up there a little bit. You've seen Condi Thieves running the Afflicted rune. See, I think that the Rune of the Afflicted would be kind of cool on some power play styles, actually. I think that could be pretty interesting. But at the moment, it's like arbitrary. It's arbitrary why you have to... I mean, if you... Like, the Scholar rune would be perfect after this update, as an example. You could run it on a Condi build, but you don't because you're not using flat damage. So, like, that was your decision to make. But a lot of these runes, you don't run not because the perk wouldn't be useful, but just because it's tied with stats that aren't. And that's like an arbitrary way of forcing, like... I don't know, maybe their fear is that if there were no stats and this sort of arbitrary split wasn't there, maybe their fear is that everyone would run the same rune even worse right now. You know, at least it's like... I mean, to be honest, with this Weaver, I've had some choice. Like, I can go Pack, or I can go Scholar, or I can go... even some fucking people run Air, which is hilarious. I don't know. There's a bit of choice. Alright, so now we kill all of our friends. WP has Merciless going. Bit boring on the Mesmer, I must be honest. Bit boring, but it's going alright. And as long as we continue, we're doing okay. We actually had a down state a second ago, which I should have been a lot more scared of than I was, but it wasn't a problem. Are we actually meant to get on one of these? No, we can just stand here and let them get the kill. Change the outfits, this title emoji. Alright, what outfit do you want, man? What outfit? Oh, not these. We could run a mini as well. We still haven't done one. There you go. Sunspit Abassi. But I know you're looking forward to that. What do you want, guys? Wedding, Chef, Pirate, Champion of Tyria. Really? Isn't this like the freebie they gave us for being a member of the community? Oh, there you go. Champion of Tyria. Turtle emoji, it's over, man. Dosty got it. He got it. You want some cooler lifesteal runes for PvE content? What, like, your life steals are stronger or whatever? I mean, some of it you won't see, some perks you won't see exist because they'd just be too annoying for the devs to implement. If it's the kind of perk that means they have to manually go through and tweak every skill that does life steal to now do more or something, if they can't do it through a system, through a number tweak, through a percentage, you probably won't see it. Eliminate any remaining undead, and here's Tactician Siska. This is the big boss, by the way. This is a Mesmer. This is a Risen. I love this arc. This arc is so cool. It makes the Risen seem so cunning and smart. Shit. I think I just picked an underwater instance. No, I didn't. I picked the one way back up in Ascalon, didn't I? I wanted the volcano instance, and we're going up to Ascalon. So we've never done this mission on Merciless, by the way. Shit. Oh my god. Oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, it's Gallon's Folly. Alright, okay. I don't think it is underwater. I think we just go up to Ascalon. But it's going to be a bit of a walk. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. We'll go through the cave. You know what? I went from Mesmer spec. I'd like to see something about stealing your opponent's abilities and using it against them. Imagine Mesmer using Meteor Shower. Yeah, I mean, that was a GW1 Mesmer thing, so that would be a thing. I don't know how viable or useful that would be in various places, but flavor-wise, I like it. I think we'll be okay, though. Alright, gun. Thank you. Oh, sorry, guys. That's my Skype. Hold on. Oh, new Skype is so annoying. Okay. Alright, speak with this guy in the Black Citadel now. I'm using my dodge key. Yeah, that's okay though. That's not a problem because it's the mount. It's mount energy. It's not a dodge. It's mount energy, and it means we're okay. Thanks very much for the follow, by the way, Puru boy. I see you there, Puru boy. Thanks very much, man. It's good to see you. Skype in 2018. Yeah, I know what you mean. I was wondering what that noise was. I've been going through my tabs like, what's that noise? That's the only time it's appeared, isn't it? Sean, are you still in chat? Are you trying to get my attention? When that scene where you supposedly killed your own men with the mortar really shocked me. I thought I failed the mission. Ha! So you weren't actually invested in the story. You just didn't want to have to... You just wanted to get to the end of the game quicker. It would be so cool, but so shit to balance and make happen in PvE. I mean, it was a thing in PvE. Projectiles, anyway. Mimic. This skill. Where is it? I don't know where it is. I don't know what I'm looking... Here, Mimic. This, which is currently, like, just kind of situational use in some PvE areas. This used to be a channeled block. And if you blocked a projectile during it, it became that ability. And then you could throw it back at your foe. So if you used Mimic to block a kill shot from a warrior, you as a Mesmer could then kill shot them. That is exactly what the Guild Wars 1 thing was as well, essentially. It was a bit better in Guild Wars 1 because the UI changed and stuff. But that's what it was. And it was really cool, actually. But they ended up removing it. Shotty G says, hey WP in chat, I hope everyone's having a great day. I certainly am, Shotty G. I hope you're doing alright, man. Can we do a squad bounties permadeath run? What would be exciting about that? Oh, Warden Addian, you're a god, man. He's plugging Patreon over there. The Madman 3000. Good to see you. Thanks very much. Someone's got a knife for fine potatoes. We haven't had that audio trigger for ages, have we? Hopefully in time we will. Monday can't be a great day. Look, Monday's the day that they bring pizza in to work and stuff to encourage your, you know, your project managers extra nice to you on a Monday. And they try to be your friend on a Monday. It's only, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that's really depressing. Because Friday's the last day, obviously. And unless you're under major crunch. I mean, it's practically the weekend already. Most people get half day Friday anyway. Most people? I'm making someone cringe and really, really upset. Don't worry, I don't actually believe most people get half day on Friday. I'm trying to be annoying. Today was pretty good. I'm glad. There you go, man. After Sunday comes Moon Day. Somebody just forgot the second O from the word. Wow, Sun and then Moon Day. Wow, is that what that means, Philanor? Learning stuff all the time. Look at that. Genius. Oh, that was pretty hype. I'm glad we made that. Because we know that's obviously not designed. Alright, let's go this way. If I could freely remake Lion's Arch, how would it look? What? What kind of a question is that? We don't need more Lion's Arch remakes. Leave it alone now. That's it. We're done, alright? Lion's Arch is Lion's Arch. Let's leave it, yeah? More remakes of Lion's Arch. You're asking me what I do? I don't know what I do. I have no inspiration about another change for Lion's Arch. It's fine as it is. I'm sorry. I've got absolutely no idea. What would you do, Sodbolt? That's a very weird question, so I'm guessing you've got an answer. Look at this huge ass walk we've got to do here. Look at this. One new Lion's Arch every year. I mean, what most people don't realise, not so much about the Lion's Arch rebuild thing, but the idea Lion's Arch got attacked and destroyed. What most people don't realise is how frequently that's happened between the two games, especially at the point of Scarlet's thing. Yeah. So it happened obviously with the Scarlet thing. It also happened earlier than that in season. Well, actually, hold on. Not really. But if you consider, in Halloween, the Mad King came and, like, ruptured it and broke the statue and stuff. At South Sun, the Karka attacked it and invaded it, so you had the massive Karka attack. So that's 3 attacks already. Then the personal story, which we're currently playing, Zhaitan attacks it and breaches it. So that's 4 already in Guild Wars. That's 4 attacks on Lion's Arch. Big, large-scale attacks on Lion's Arch. Then if you go back to Guild Wars 1, there were actually several attacks there as well. Like, the quest that got Prophecy's characters to the world of Nightfall, to Elona, that had Abaddon attacking it. I can't quite remember what the factions one was. I don't think Afflicted attacked it. But essentially the Titans were marching on it in the post-Prophecy story. Earthquakes struck near it as well when Eye of the North became a thing. The Warring Kryta ended with a massive attack on Lion's Arch, like the Battle for Lion's Arch. I remember when I was essentially testing the game before it came out, I had an old friend who used to play Guild Wars 1 with me, And we'd done the War in Crichton stuff together. And he was telling me about the story. And he described the attack on Lion's Arch as being like the battle for LA. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. But like Lion's Arch has had so many attacks. So many attacks. Alright, hello Zhaitan. Yeah, okay. I'm coming over here now. Voila. Now we go to the battleground. So I think we're done with it for now. Bounty's permadeath idea wasn't for fun. It was an elaborate ploy to get my elegy mosaics, was it now? Alright, so now we're all deceived and freaked out. And our heads hurt. And now we don't know who we can trust fighting. So don't we kill a bunch more of our buddies again now? These ones over here. That's actually a lot of Flame Legion. Do you have like a story mode playthrough of Guild Wars 1 so players can get history of the lore? No, I have a playthrough that is both story and mechanics. My Prophecies playthrough is actually a challenge playthrough where I solo the game as well as talk about the story at the same time. I just tried to make it as interesting as possible for veteran players. So let's pull just a few. I'm hoping these guys are really squishy because, frankly, this is a big wave of it. Oh, gods, they actually proper hurt. Let's try and cleave through them with the beam as best as we can. Okay, shatter. You recently started watching my... Sorry, I can't look at chat, guys. I'm going to die if I look at chat. Alright, what's this? You recently started watching my Final Fantasy X Let's Play, and I mentioned a standing desk. Do you still use it, and what are my thoughts? Not all the time, but yeah, I do have a standing desk set up, and yeah, I think the kind of life I live, I sort of have to use it. It's kind of, it's sort of non-negotiable, really. It's not like, oh, here's this fun little thing you should use, guys. I mean, I think everyone should consider it, but if you live a life even remotely like mine, it's not just about getting fat, and it's not just about being overweight, and like wanting to look good or whatever. It's literally, it's like a thing of health. It's like your rate of like heart disease and all kinds of things. It's just like really, really important that you're on your feet for a bit during the day. So yeah, I think it's really important. I don't think it's really negotiable. I haven't used it properly for a while now, but I'm guilty and regretful of that fact. I think it's good. I think everyone should look into it. But, like, there's really no excuse, to be honest, to be sat down if you don't really do anything else. This is Monka S. What is this? How is this Monka S? I didn't realize I was using a standard desk back with FF10. That was a while ago, man. I'd like to call the condition well-fed. For me, right now, I would call myself festively plump because it's the post-Christmas weight, which I've still not shed, you see. So that's where it's okay. And for the next couple of weeks, it will be that, and then later it will be Easter joy, and it will be you know, Easter can be the excuse, and then after that it will be I don't know. We won't talk about my weight during the summer months, and then it will be about you know. This is obscene. This is so slow. Oh. How many more do we have to fight? Yeah, my family had way too much chocolate for Christmas. These festivities are so cruel. I gotta get away again. Oh, my brain. My brain. This is not too good, guys. This is the main thing about Mesmer. It's just got no... Like, all this sustain is nice. All this healing, the strength of all this healing, I hadn't anticipated, which is great. But the damage, this is what I would have been saying before. We just have no pressure. We just do so little. There we go. Okay, are we done? No? Have we got another wave to go? There's another wave. Really? Oh. You should try joining a boot camp. It's a lot of group workouts and the challenge keeps you interested and keeps on... Well, I mean, listen, a standing desk is not meant to be a challenge. It's not meant to be fun. It's not meant to be anything you think about. It's just sort of a lifestyle thing. It's just... You question it no more. You think about it no more than the fact you should probably brush your teeth every day. Do you know what I mean? That's it. It's not really a topic. It's not a thing that you really think about. It's just you make the decision to have that be a part of your life, and then it's a part of your life, and then guess what? You're healthier. That's it. How many waves are there? We would be so done. We'd be like done with the next 2 instances already if we'd gone with Volcano. Hello and welcome to Guild Wars 2. Some pro tips for you. You can dodge. Also, your 6 go as a heal. And did you know you can keep behind your mounts? Oh, look, ban him. Rav, are you in chat? Ban him. Ban that guy. I want him banned. I want him out. I want him banned. I want his family banned. I don't want to hear anything about him ever again. If Rav's not around, you got lucky, punk. Yeah, there are no mods. Merciless has bored the mods away. How well does 3 sword phantasms and the PvE buffed Blurred Frenzy do on this kind of run? It'd be a bit crap, man, because when a mob dies, all your phantasms despawn. So, it would be good for a solo boss. If you were fighting a boss, the 3 sword phantasms would be great. It would be really, really solid. But beyond that, it wouldn't be very good. And Blurred Frenzy wouldn't be very good either, by the way, because you really, even though Blurred Frenzy does a lot of damage, you will not do much damage because you just don't have the stats for it. And it requires you to be in melee. I know it's got evades while you're channeling it, obviously, but it's not going to be enough to be worth the risk. You see, if you watch my gameplay right now, I'm constantly kiting away. If they attack me like this, it's bad. I need them to be on my clones, and I need to just keep backing up and channeling blocks. And here I'm just shattering for extra sustain as well, as you can see. So, like, it's really important. It seems if I back up too much, the animation plays. Oh my god, he really hurts. Back up. Oh my god, what? There's collision on that! Trahan's dead as well. There's Res Trahan. He's super OP. What is this? This is like wading through fudge. What the fuck? There's more coming in. Or is he fleeing? No, I don't think he's fleeing. Jesus. You're waiting for the Tato Big D emote. Oh, well, Welk is here, guys. Waldy is watching the stream. I think I saw him in chat a second ago, so who knows? Having a dog as a pet will ensure you... Yeah, having a dog's great because you'll walk it. And you will be active, yeah. And you've got that as your lifestyle for the next 13, 14 years. So that's good as well, yeah. A dog is no more than a tool to keep in shape. It's not a thing to love. Oh, man. Did they just all get cleaved down? I really should have pulled them into the warden there, not just over to me arbitrarily, but there you go. Another shatter. We're going to target him and shoot through them. Get the extra damage. These shadow blades are really, really painful. Pulling away. See, look, these vigil that are with us have blood on their hands too, you know. They're murderers as well. Is there something I need to kill specifically over there? How long has this been going on, honestly? Like, this isn't actually a thing, is it? Try getting a stable. That'll keep you healthy and broke for your entire life. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea as well. Good point, Dusty. Back when you had a golden retriever, he refused to have short walks and required another lap. Jesus. My black labs would always get really tired really quick. Another one. Come on, let me block, let me block. Come on, this is so annoying. Hey WP, have you played the FF12 remake yet? No, and I do know it just came out on Steam. And I do know I told people that when it came to PC I wanted to do an LP of it. So stay tuned, we'll see what we do with that. But I have some other ideas first. Wait, those sport watches or polar products are pretty fun. As they give you the lazy stamp if you sit still for over an hour and expect you to walk 10k per day. I'm dying. Oh, this has got to be it. They're not respawning now, are they? They're just... Oh, you prick. He Death Blossomed behind me. Oh, slowly but surely. Good job, Traherne. Okay. These four we can pull together. So if I grab this Stalker, those four we can pull together and we can fight them in a second. Was 12 any good? 12 is a really different Final Fantasy to the other Final Fantasies, but it's excellent. I really like it. It's also a really huge game, and there's a lot to do in it and talk about and loot tables. It's probably... There are two kinds of speedruns that are interesting to watch, like as categories on Twitch. FF12 is kind of the ultimate in terms of being a routing game. Where, like, your broad strategy, like the large decisions you make as to which areas of the world you go to, which order you complete quests in and stuff. It's, like, fascinating on FF12. Because the ways you get money, the kind of mobs you need to spawn, the items you need to steal, what you need to craft stuff to be able to zerg your way through bosses quick enough and stuff. It's all really fascinating. Like, if you kill a boss and it gives you one item or another, because there's a lot of RNG in it as well, right? Like, depending on the RNG of what you get, it will suddenly unlock, like, several different branching paths. You might do this one or this one or this one. Like, your strategy has to evolve heavily based on your RNG. And the runs are really long as well, so, like, you know, it's not like you can just reset when you're 10 hours in and you get some bad luck. You have to figure out your other way around. Oh my god, there's another wave! There's another wave! How have we... This is an effigy. How is that even remote? Inspires nearby Flame Legion char. Inspiring presence. They don't have a buff on them. Alright, let's just shatter while they're all together. I'm going to keep all phantasms on the effigy itself. Well, my phantasm didn't block it. I think this is the only effigy we ever have to fight in Merciless, by the way. Oh, no, it's not. If you play a char, obviously, there's some others you can do. I'm going to shatter there just for the heal. I'm kind of loath to do that because they also act as a meat shield. So again, I'll just interrupt them and keep them in the Warden. Another shatter for more sustain. The effigy actually really hurts. Here we're gonna serpentine, so he can't hit us anymore. Oh, he got us with that one. Let's go a bit further away. Okay, he's still hitting us. What? How did that get cancel cast? Seriously? Okay, shatter. Generate some new stuff. Oh my god. Oh. You'd like to try Final Fantasy 12 someday? The political plot seemed intriguing. Listen, FF12 for story, I played it quite recently. I played it like a year ago. 2 years ago? So I have a fairly recent playthrough under my belt, and I'll tell you what, it's not actually that good the way it delivers its story and stuff. I don't know about the remake, but the original. What even happened there? Oh, Zhaitan died, so now they're all coming in. All right, that's fine. He's gonna reset, obviously. Let's just not cringe at that too much. Let's just finish off his buddies. Presumably they're not getting inspiring presence anymore, so we're happy with this. More shatters. He ran away. Good, good, good. All right, then we res Trahearn and we grind through this guy. I'm going to try. I'm going to see how the damage goes on this without shattering. I'm going to just bring up three of these and kite. And we'll see whether we get good damage. He is attacking them, which is annoying. Trahearn, do you want to get in there, buddy? I'll move in. If Trahearn takes the aggro and we can keep the berserkers up, that's good. Because we are running Phantasmal Force. Trahearn. Okay. I can't believe you've got to kite him into 600 range before he'll do anything. There you go. He's on me. That's fine. So we can just serpentine these. Visibility's kind of annoying. Alright, so we got 3 up. Signet's now at max strength. So these phantasms should... Oh my god, it's weird. Sometimes I can get it. Quite often I can't. Once these all build enough stacks... So there's one... Oh, they're not... Why are they not building stacks? Did I turn it off? Oh, I did, obviously, for malicious sorcery. Ugh. Alright, well, if we retraded, I think this would have gone faster, but that's fine. That's a clone as well. I don't know why he's up. I don't remember summoning a clone. I'm not sure when I did that. If we cast this, it should get deleted. There we go. Alright, we got 3 finally. Alright, what else is going on? Yeah, no, FF12's got a really good story, but then there's like a moment fairly early in the game when you're in Dalmasca. After you get out of the prison, shortly after that. Probably after your first visit to Vizherba. The game just changes completely as you start exploring the southern continent. And you can actually read behind the scenes stories about them, the devs struggling and like different people taking lead and swapping around. It does do a lot of interesting things and it's fun, but there's a lot about it as a Final Fantasy game for story that it's just not got what it needs. That's not even it. We have to fight a giant. That's not even it. Oh my god. All right. Phantasmal Force. Is Trahearn not even around? Oh, they were all illusions, of course. Right. I don't know whether he stomps and fears and everything. He does, look. Weakness. Oh, God, he does it all. There you go, 12 stacks on him, though, and he didn't take any damage. The animation looks fairly low damage, so that's good. This is good versus no boons, right? Maybe I should do that instead of just autoing. And we get the full 1200 for max damage on the auto. And least chance he'll retarget. So he's on 8. Oh, he killed one. That's annoying. Oh, I decoyed to stun break, and that's obviously summoned a thing. Oh, did it summon a thing? Actually, maybe because it was out of range, it didn't summon a thing. That's fine. Sorry, I'm doing really bad with chat. I had quite a few discussions. So one of the really interesting things about FF12 that most people get caught up on is that you're not really playing as the protagonist. You're playing as a side character. And it's like Balthia's the actual hero. And, you know, there's that stuff in it, and that's all respectable and it's okay. And on paper, you can look at that. But it's actual execution of the story. Like, there's very little party chatter. There's very little going on. There's very little there. And again, it's sort of around Vizherba. The game just like it just gets crap. It's right around. No, it's not around Vizherba. It's like after an airship scene, I think. I think when you go onto the Shiva. But it is a great game. I do love the game. It's just not actually for its story aspects that I love the game so much. Okay, so we got kicked out, and now we gotta inspect the camp. Just to let you know, World of Final Fantasy is a game I can't recommend enough. It's my second favorite FF. After the 2 X's. Really? World of Final Fantasy. I read an interview where the various devs of the Final Fantasy series... This is a cool story step. They mix it into the open world really well. Where the devs of the various Final Fantasies voted on what they believed the best one was. And there were all kinds of, you know, ones that were coming up. X2 never made it on the list at all, but one of them said that 10 was his favourite. He basically said, look, this was our first experiment with voice acting in a Final Fantasy game, and I think we got it perfect straight out of the bat. It's my favourite. so that's cool, I guess. I had quite a few discussions. Not sure if it's all in the game or in third Jigsaw way like Guild Wars does, but still, I should also try FF9 as I like its aesthetic music. Yeah, I've never really played 9, but 9 is one of those ones that seems like... It was a classic Final Fantasy, right? Released after they'd started shifting and getting more sci-fi and whatever with 7 and 8. And 9 was developed in tandem with 10 and 11, believe it or not. They were making an MMO, they were making a next generation game, which was 10. And at the same time as that and all that looking forward that they were doing, they wanted to present another classic Final Fantasy experience. And that was what 9 ended up being for the PS1. Right at the end of the PS1's life cycle. So I think that's pretty interesting too. This Greatest Fear Star Arc is a really intriguing plot with corruption within the Pact. Yeah. Intelligent minion? Absolutely, dude. I really like it. It's probably one of the best arcs in the game. I think Guild Wars 2 replay value of multi-characters works well for the whole game. Whenever I make a new character, I try and do a new path. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think they had a good idea, and I think they came kind of no, but I don't think they came close. I think it was too diluted. There's too... I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good idea to go for with an MMO, but... Also, they killed that jackal really quickly. I wonder how. What was it? A thrall maybe exploded? So now we're on the little island instance. That actually took so long. How long have I been streaming? An hour and a half already. An hour and a half already. We've done 2 instances. 2! No, 3. Sorry, we've done 3. Well, obviously the title says beating Zhaitan. We're not going to be beating Zhaitan today. Jesus Christ, he hurts. Oh my god, they're the Awakened. Of course they are. Of course they're the Awakened. Why wouldn't they be? Alright. I might end the stream again today with a queue, by the way. A PvP queue, if you guys want. We'll do all 2 queues, maybe we'll do 1 or 2. Alright, hello Chirahan. It's great to see you. The White Stag Path of the Early Silvery Story introduces one of the few anti-villains. Yeah, Gavin. That's also a good one. What race are we again? We're human. We didn't see Gavin on this character. Ooh, what about an EU queue so that you could snipe me? No, because I can't be bothered to log on to my EU account. And again, I want to do that reward track 2 more times. I actually care about the rewards at the moment. I also want more Ascended Shards. I've got 1,100 left still. And I don't know whether I want to just get all the Obsidian stuff done, or I want to get all the next Glorious stuff done. I want to get, you know, Ardent, Glorious, Light, and Medium. Or if I want to upgrade my current Ardent, Glorious to Legendary Armor. I want all of it, but I just don't know what order to get it all in. And to get all of it is a lot of Ascended Shards. It's like another season or 2 of gameplay, so... It just depends what order I want to do. What were those fireworks that you used for XP boosts in earlier Merciless challenge runs? Right, so if you type in actually typing in firework doesn't work, does it? So they're bottle rockets and there's stuff, sparklers and stuff like that. It's from a festival called the Lunar New Year, which, by the way, is probably coming very soon in Guild Wars 2. So you might want to wait because prices will drop and you can just play the festival events to get it for free. I think that is that coming Tuesday? Is that the idea? It's Balance plus Lunar New Year is coming. So you might want to wait. Don't buy them just yet. But yeah, they're consumables that stack on top of other XP buffs like food and boosters, and they give you more XP. And Magic Find as well, I think. By the way. You're less than 100 wins from Champion Brawler. So wait, you're on 9,900 games, Valo. No, sorry, 9,900 wins. So you have probably around coming close to 20. You're between 15 and 20,000 games. Is that what you're telling me? There can't be many players with Champion Brawler in Guild Wars 2, can there? There can't be many with Champion Brawler. That's a lot of games, man. Why are you taking a break this week, by the way? What, you just out of the house doing other stuff? You're definitely near 20k. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how insulting I should be. I could suggest you're at 20k, and then that tells you you only have a 50-50 win rate. Which I don't know whether that would be some terrible suggestion. You're going to work on a video. Yeah, so if people don't know, the Valen in chat is the thief that was playing against me on those 2 games yesterday. We won 1, we lost 1. And the one that we lost by 1 point, by the way. They were good games. I think he's trying to get into sort of PvP content creation. He's got a YouTube channel. If you want to plug it, Valen, they can. I'll give him a link. He just did a montage, and he's giving away, like, what is it, 250 gold and 250 ecto, just for people to watch the video and give him feedback. Literally. That's like a wooden potatoes tier giveaway right there. It's a good giveaway, so you guys might want to go do that. If he confirms in chat he wants me to, I'll just permit him anyway, just in case. Oh, he already did it. Oh, well, you missed it. He already did the giveaway. But maybe he'll link you the video. There you go. If you watch Guild Wars 2 efficiency, the most amount of games is 38,000. Yeah, I was actually looking at that recently, and the reason I was looking at it is because I wanted to see what as high is. There are only, I don't know whether I said this on the stream already. If I did, I'm going to look like such a bragger going on and on about the same thing over and over and over. But the highest thing I am is I think there's only 79 players in all of Guild Wars 2 that are on Guild Wars 2 efficiency. There's only 79 people that have had more kills than me in PvP. I think that's the highest I am on the leaderboard out of the various stats. And I think that's pretty cool that there's only 79 people that have made more kills. Hewendo, it's good to see you, dude. Before you bugger off and leave, tell me how Monster Hunter World's going, man. There you go. There's his latest video, guys. There's his latest video. So click that, open the tab. Don't watch it yet. Keep with me on the stream. This is actually a bit scary right now, by the way. And then watch it later. Turtle Moji says, I saw you. Sorry, I can't look at chat. Hold on, guys. I've got to be careful. Just need to make sure I know where my way out is. That is fucking terrifying over there. Alright, we got the full heal from the level. Unfortunate, but can't do anything about that. Yeah, what's this? You saw me in PvP earlier. I was on a Mesmer, and we did win a game, and then I lost to your team by like 30 points. Oh, that's cool, dude. What was your Mesmer's name? That's what I learned from the giveaway, is that people who watch PvP videos want to learn one build and hear commentary. So the whole swapping builds and just montage material isn't what they want. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, after I streamed those, well, 3 games actually yesterday, the queuing today, there's been a lot of new faces around. I don't know how like ridiculous this is for me to think I'm seeing a pattern here, but I think there's a lot more people around. But also I'm seeing people run a lot of terrible glassy builds, like Fresh Air Ellie. And I don't know whether that's because people have been inspired by watching me on that build and thinking, oh yeah, that's really good, I'll play it now. But I think that's what those kind of videos really do. It makes people see the one build and they're like, wow, this looks really good, and they want to play that build really well, you know? Especially if they're very glassy builds. I think it's hard to show people why support is fun and what's really good about support. I did do a stream showing off Firebrand gameplay. Or like bruisery builds as well, I think can struggle a bit in montages. Like imagine making a druid montage, right? Like, you can't have like these snappy cuts where it's like, yeah, look at this quick little play I made. Look at this quick little play. It's just like, okay, here, watch how I attritively ground down this guy and held 3 players at this node for 5 full minutes. That's not really montage material, is it? I mean, it's an impressive play, but you can't sort of, there's no soundbite that expresses why it's good. What do? You play epic music and you start zooming in and out of the minimap as you reveal that the rest of your team has the other 2 nodes on the map. Whoa! We have double capped because I'm here holding a 2v3, 1v3. You know, something like that. It's not. Montages don't do well with that. I kind of want to see that now. That just flashes the words "the plays" on the screen as a double cap is secured. How's the progress on Elder Scrolls stuff? I'm not really talking about it right now because I don't know what form that series will be or how I want to deal it. And I don't want to give anyone any expectations I'm going to do Elder Scrolls at all. So. Old Selly Ellie used to have montage potential only because of those juicy might stack fire grabs though. Speaking of, I was actually on your team earlier today when you were playing Ellie. Really, roasted walnuts? There you go. See, look, people in chat saying it. It's not just in my head. People have seen and they want to go play. How do we do roasted? Were we all right? Clearly the best PvP PvP community members and content creators. Clearly they're all on China doing their 1v1 automated tourneys. Clearly it's the Chinese streaming service that has all the best, you know, casters. And how is that in range? I swear that the range on those exploders is much bigger right now than it used to be. Yes, I've always very much enjoyed Sin's content. One of Sin's montages really was very... there's a very specific play that I always remember appeared in one of his montages where he was... I think he was playing DP, it was at a mid-fight, and it was the way he managed to pick someone off and also like anticipated basically every animation that a Rev was doing that was trying to get the res. It was just a really nice little moment of the montage that often stands out. I have enjoyed that stuff. Oh my god, let me pull back. Oh, I mean, this is, I'll tell you what this is just Mesmer. This is, none of these are long instances, none of them. I started this stream by saying that these are quick. These are quick, these are not long instances. It's just, this is what Mesmer is like. Hey WP, is it just me or have you gotten better with your footage skills in your latest videos? I think the contest watching made you better. What do you mean? Footage skills. I did for the newsy videos. I have tried editing different like graphics in on top. What you need to understand here, I'm blocking the explosion. We got it that time. You got to understand, one of the things is I can do a lot of fancy things in editing, lots of them, and that they're interesting to watch, but they bloat render times, and Vegas is like a flimsy piece of shit that can easily crash. So even sometimes just a simple crossfade can cause a crash. So a lot of that I've just culled away at the moment, in favor of being able to put more on, but not be worried that it's going to break the rendering. Seriously, if I'd been using Premiere all these years, you would see very, very, very different, better content coming from me. I should just bite the bullet and pay for a subscription to Adobe stuff and use Premiere instead. I really should. Have a fresh start. And get you started about Vegas. I know. And Magic's haven't developed it well enough since they bought it, which disappoints me. Why don't you run staff and run a comedy spread build thing? You're very limited in what builds you can run when you have no gear because so much of it is reliant on your stats. So like we actually have a lot of condi pressure here, but in terms of skills and traits that we've selected, but we don't really do any damage with it because we have no condi investment, and we can't really get any condi investment. We've got a little bit. Didn't we pick like a dire amulet? Yeah, we did. Alright, destroy the undead ship. Oh my god, how long's that been up? It's dying. Can I greatsword? Is it in range? Nope. Well, let's get used to... Oh, yeah, hold on. We don't want to leave the instance. That's basically a rip run if we do that. I guess we'll just defend the guys and let the cannons go. I thought there was a cannon I could use. I thought on the sub or something, but maybe not. Oh, no, here you go. Here's a mortar. Mortar's ground targeted, right? Nope. Let's try about 50% and see where it lands. I'm sure I don't need to turn it left or right. Oh, there you go. 50% easy. Also, monsters don't really use skills till ore. That's sort of BS. I'm sorry, Trio DVD. They do the same stuff in ore that they did earlier. It's the same stuff. Exploders, A-bombs, everything's the same except you find Risen Knights in ore, which are harpies essentially, which are play the same as fighting against fire elementals. There's no real difference. Yeah, Sean, there are rules, man. You click the thing and they'll appear. Here, I'll show you. When I talk on my face cam here as well, all the rules appear. So no dodge, no armor, no heal, no consumables, no over leveling, no loot. You have to be solo and it's permadeath. And we're playing it leveling fast because screw leveling. Alright, so now we go to Fort Trinity. I didn't get any of the key waypoints. Great, so we are the closest already. So let's get on the skimmer and get moving. Yeah, it's not easy. It's probably at its hardest early in the run, though, except for some specific moments in Ore, which are in the final chapter, which we're about to do. We will have a cool moment in a second, guys. We're on the last instance now, and we're going to hit level 80. Which means we get our final specialization. So you guys will be able to vote on domination, dueling, or chaos. And you guys can make that choice there. Chaos might be the strongest one, safest one. But I don't know, maybe it would do better if we got more damage. I'll leave this... No, I'll go back to malicious sorcery for now. Yeah, mounts have changed some experiences like that there. You bet doing Merciless on Thief is bad for my 2 key. No, you don't spam 2. It's just unload. Just unload constantly once you get your 2. Well, see, it's really interesting on Thief because you don't get to equip any loot except what the story gives you. And the story won't give you the full pistol-pistol combo. It won't give you that until you're in Chapter 4. So when you're level 40. Which means Chapter 1, 2, and 3, quite a lot of instances, you have to resort to using short bow for the cluster bombs and either DD or DP or PD. So you do get a lot of choices. But you only get 1 pistol until you're level 40, and then you only get your second one. At which point it just becomes unload forever. How did our Thief die again? Because it was really strong. It was doing extremely well, and then it died somewhere. Oh, it died out of nowhere in that Char instance, didn't it? That ridiculous thing where all the separatists just zerged us down. That was brutal. Thief is probably one of the most fun Merciless experiences you can have. I think Rev was really fun as well. You guys will get to pick equals Dosty gets to pick. No, I will straw poll that one. I straw poll for the specializations. Fastest finger first is to name them. So magic booty sacks, that was the fastest finger first. And it like various aspects of how we look and shit like that. How do you acquire gear? This personal story gives you quest rewards sometimes. And you're allowed to equip those. It's like that bag there. I can equip that. That's fine. And you get lots of keys and stuff for playing, by the way. Which later you can open. You can't open these, but later you can open those en masse and salvage and get actually quite a good bit of money. You get a piece of gear every time you buy a mount adoption license from the gem store. You know, someone actually... I did a giveaway to a guy. What is this? He's giving me food for some reason. I think it was in Valen's chat, actually. And he was like, oh, I can't accept these. Don't worry, I'll buy you a mount adoption license contract. Can you delete it for me on stream? He's not done it. He's just taken the money and ran. Sorry, it's how I fund my shill channel. What's this beta race? So you guys don't get to enjoy that. No more fiery raptors. Alright, so Battle for Fort Trinity. Easy, but very slow. And then we're finally done with this goddamn thing. Then maybe we'll do a PvP game if you guys want to see it. This is going to be slow as shit. You vaguely wondering when I was using the bouncing mushrooms and gliding the first time, that if ArenaNet could apply them as usable abilities anywhere, how it would change everything from JPs to exploration. Here we are, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what Mountain Corteria has done, isn't it, really? How do we get to change the outfit of the Mesmer? We just did earlier. If you want to change it again, go on then. Fastest finger first. The code's 12. Type a 12 and tell me an outfit to run. First person to do it. 12 plus an outfit. You get to determine what we're going to look like. I mean, I barely gave that other person a chance. That looked really good, actually. What was that? No, Sean, you fucked up, man. It's supposed to be the same message. So, Dosty 1. There you go. Cook 12. Why cook? Why is it always the chef's outfit? What is wrong with you guys? This doesn't look good. The chef's outfit is so... Look, I will agree to that, but I'm also now going to become an awakened just to screw you. Or a watch night, maybe. Cook. What happened to second fastest finger first? Well, I want to slip in a few just fastest finger first. Just see if people can beat Dosty. If Dusty does every single time, get them all the time, I will go back to second fastest. I'm just trying to do a mix. Cook, more like cucked. Because none of these people know how to cook WP, they want a dream. It's alright, you can learn how to cook pretty easy these days. There's all those GIF recipes, aren't there? You know, you just watch a GIF and it tells you how to do it. Slip in a few fast fingers. Oh my. Just swallow the loss, WP, otherwise don't do a poll. I don't know what you're talking about. WP is scamming chat. So, Sean, while you're doing your art streams, if chat just asks you to do stuff, will you do it? That'll get you some viewership, man. What do you think? So, like, you finish your beautiful thing and then you ruin it with, like, a dick butt or something on the top. What do you think? Trust me, it's amazing. Look, Ewendell here, 15 minutes ago, gave me £5. What I'm doing here is playing a video game, and I just got given £5. Think about that. Think about how incredible that is. Get some viewership on Twitch. You too can get £5. And I'm telling you, the answer is to let chat do anything you want. Anything they want. Yeah, ruined. And then they can all spam ruined after you do it. You know, you draw your tree and they'll just type ruin. Those Bob Ross streams were amazing. What a time to be alive. Twitch pays Pokemon, Bob Ross streams. Recently I've made the change to Revenant main, and while I love the overall feel, I can't help but feel like something's missing. My question to you, what changes would you make to Rev to give it a more consistent identity? I'm dying. I don't know. You say consistent identity there. Is that the problem? I don't know. Well, what's your identification of the issue with Rev? Something's missing and you think it's that it doesn't have a consistent identity? I mean, I think that Rev should be the Dark Knight, the Death Knight, the Black Knight, the bad guy, you know, the evil, the dark, the edgy, magically. Where Necromancer meets Warrior, that's what it should be. It should be the anti-Guardian. That's what it should feel like to me. So, first, if I could make any change at all, I wouldn't have Glint be a legend. I wouldn't have Ventari be a legend. I wouldn't have Jarlis be a legend. No heroes legends. They should all be like evil, horrible, gross, you know, undead and shit like that. Like visually, thematically, that's what I would have. Gameplay-wise, I wouldn't have... I mean, I think that in Guild Wars 2, everything should try to be a supporty spec. But I don't know whether I'd have something like Ventari in there. I wouldn't have Carla either, by the way. I wouldn't have Glint. The elite specs that they've done, I don't think work. I don't know why the devs haven't given an elite spec that's sort of true to that. Anyway, that's what I think the Rev's identity should be. That's what I think it should be. I'm not saying it has to be. And obviously the devs have gone in a different version. But you're asking me if I could make changes. Those are some of the changes I would make. So Carl McLean should be a legend. Oh, yeah, because he's edgelordy, right? Is that what we're saying? Alright, there you go. Gates defended. We can just leave now. What? Why is it teleporting me back down here? That's me there. You guys couldn't see. I was just under the face cam, I think. That was me. On the bottom left. I'm supposed to be invisible. If I die now because the game's teleported me back into the thick of them. Oh, no. Okay, I was in Vuln as well. That's fine. Oh, sorry. Levers. Yeah. You're pretty edgy also. Do you get a legend too? Sure. But yeah, I think I would do that firstly. And then for mechanics, you know, if we go on the anti-Guardian idea, I do believe in it as sort of a Condi-ish or attritive thing, I suppose. Sort of like how Necros aren't necessarily Condi, they're attrition. That's sort of the idea. Even when they're doing, you know, if you look at the way that Dagger is structured, if you look at the way that Warhorn's structured, if you look at the way that Lich form is structured, these are all, you know, as the power variants of this class, the Vampirism, it's all attritive, you know, it can be meaty packets of damage from running heavy Zerk and whatever, but it's not like one shot. I mean, it kind of does get one shot here if you proc a bunch of sigils and things all at once. But if you go, I mean, it's more attritive in its nature than like one big bomb of a hit, like a, you know, like a Death's Judgment, like you'd see on Deadeye, right? And I think maybe Rev should follow that as well, you know. And with Shiro, it kind of does. And the Devastation trait line, it kind of does. You made an unkillable Necro. It was amazing until I died. You know, one of the things I used to do years ago in World vs. World is I used to run around on an unkillable Ellie. And I mean really an unkillable... It was like when Nomads was newly added to the game. So you'd run a Nomad's Ellie on Mercy runes. No, not Mercy runes. Well, yes, Mercy runes, but also those the Ice Block runes. And you could run Obsy Flesh, Earth Shield, Vapor Form. You just have so many hardened vulns. You could run into Zergs of, you know, 20 to 40 people. And just sort of mince about in them for a while. And it wouldn't matter. It's fun stuff. Of course, the duration for a lot of that stuff's been nerfed down now. Obsy Flesh used to be like 4 or even 5 seconds, I think. Now it's just 3. I still have muscle memory issues with that. Playing Fresh Air lately, I've been having issues with that. I think that Obsy Flesh is still going to be okay, and then it disappears and I get burst. I might not be able to peel out in the end. Yeah, Nomad Daredevil. Yeah, because you can chain dodges, right? Just do the same but with evades. Mr. WP, from the contest, which piece of art would you want if you could? What about the Mouth of Morgemoth painting? Mouth of Mor... I don't know which piece of art you're specifically talking about there. I would have seen it. I don't think that there was a single piece that was made that I thought this is shit. I never, ever, ever, ever thought that. I always thought these are beautiful pieces. These are interesting pieces. I have no experience as an artist, so I don't know how difficult. My God, we still got to kill him. I had no real respect for who was better. So all of that was one of the reasons why it was kind of easy to cull them out of the winnings in the end, because I didn't have that level to consider. Like Sampo pointed out on his video, have I mentioned this on stream? Sampo entered the competition. He also did his own video explaining his top 10, what he would have done. And he said, and all respect to the guy, it's perfectly fine, valid opinion to have. He said, listen, WP did it this way. I disagree. I think that it should just be about creativity. So on my top 10, this is Sampo speaking. He said, on my top 10, I'm not going to give anyone who made a video saying, here's why you should buy Path of Fire. Anything vloggy, I'm not going to give them the prize. I don't care about that. I want creative videos. And he did his top 10, and it was about creativity and stuff. Anyway, he rated a machinima, the Lord of the Rings machinima, really highly, which was a very good video. But one of the reasons and I never even gave it top 35. Why? Because I didn't feel it grew the scene. I felt it was a kind of a confused message, like it's talking about Lord of the Rings and stuff when this is supposed to be about Guild Wars, and I just felt that wasn't good for growing the scene from a conceptual level. But Sampo gave it a really high rating and basically said, look, I make machinima. This guy organized all these people to do this. This was hard. So, and I can tell that was hard, so he gets a winning rate. So that person was voted more favorably because Sampo had experience with that kind of content. And it's a similar thing with me with the artists. I'm not an artist, so I don't quite know, you know, what techniques are being used in Photoshop or what really took more time than another thing and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I couldn't really judge it on that level as Sampo did with the machinima thing. Maybe that would upset the artists, but there you go. What's all these deleted messages? Oh, and I'm dying. This is bad. Where's that emote? Since when have they been emoting? Holy crap. Ada says, I'd post if I could. I'm working on my own top 10. That's cool, Ada. Why is Dusty just had everything deleted? What's going on here? Nightbot told him to squeal like a pig. That's the problem with a subjective contest. Really depends on what the judges prefer. Yeah, I mean, I saw one really salty guy. Early on in the contest, I had pointed out on one of these streams that the Doombox was probably going to get one of the winning spots. And he posted like some salty message on Reddit where he'd like been doxing me and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck is this? This is insane. Like, he's like, I don't know why anyone would join if he's already decided. And he was even still whinging about it after the reveal. I was like, what is this? Like, really kind of freaky and actually a bit scary too. But, you know, it's subjective. I think generally people were really accommodating with the competition. Really nice. I think it was very good. I'm glad I did it. And people especially were accommodating and giving me time to make it and do it, even if it meant no videos. So it was good. So I've been thinking about picking up a different class. I main engineer and I've played thief, ranger, and warrior a lot. What class would you recommend picking up? You want a new one? You main NG. You've played thief, ranger, and warrior. So what are you looking for? A very different experience? I don't really know what that means, though. I don't know whether I can give you advice like that, dude. Because depending on the build, class doesn't really determine playstyle in a lot of ways. Depending on the facet of the game you're playing. Like, what are you talking about? Raids? Like, I don't know, man. There's so many different experiences. Playing a 2013 staff-wielding, dungeon-running Elementalist is nothing like playing a 2018 Scepter Ellie. Is nothing like playing a 2015 DD Ellie. They're just completely different. Like, and it's the same for NG. Playing a, a Nades Condi NG is nothing like playing a Holo of today. So I'm not sure whether you listing the classes you've played before can really help me give you a good answer. What I'd actually say is it's sort of a decision you have to make based on the flavour of the class, I think, really. What looks fun, what looks like it speaks to you, and just do that. I know that's boring. That's like a non-answer. That's like, nobody wants to hear that. You want me to just tell you, don't you? But I don't really think... I mean, I could just wing it. You should play Guardian, mate. Play Guardian. It's great. Good damage. Go. There's damage on Guardian. Go play Guardian. There you go. Sorted. Can always go wrong with Necro. Screw Necro. Alright, so we get the orb. Instance is almost done. I like the idea of being an Awakened that saves Fort Trinity from an attack of a different variety of undead. This is actually kind of cool. I always like it when I get a blink like that in PvE, because you never quite know if there's going to be no line of sight. Did the angry winner not take their winnings then? Yeah, one of them did refuse his gems. I don't think we're 100% settled. A couple of people got too many gems as well, by the way. I accidentally sent them more than they actually should have had. I think one person got given a code that didn't work. It was Welk. Like I said, Welk was an incredible help, not just with the website, but in the end he did the gem part. So he's just kept me in the loop with what's going on, but I think we've already repurposed them. Alright, so now we have to kill everything and go back through, which is pretty annoying, but we will see what we've got. We've got to go... Wait, where's the gate? Yeah, it's over here. Yeah, the blue orb hasn't been mentioned. Definitely. I think Heart of Thorns was a good opportunity to properly mention it. I mean, they seem to, like, hint it in HOT, but nothing with POF either. So we'll probably do 2 straw polls here, guys. One is for the final specialization, and 2 is for if you want to see another chapter of the story or a PvP match or 2, like we did yesterday. This is gross. This is so gross. Their guys is really horrible. Kill Zhaitan as an Awakened equals Joko history becomes correct. That's hilarious. There should be an achievement for that. The achievement should be called, like, Joko was right. And it's to defeat Zhaitan while in the Awakened tonic form. That's hilarious. No, we'll do a straw poll, guys. You don't have to spam it in chat. And I'm not looking at it anyway at the moment. We got to finish this instance and vote on our specialization first. Oh, playing Mesmer's like pulling teeth in this. Will the PvPs be with Asura or the crazy pink pants? Does that really matter to you, Demon's Bane? Is that what it comes down to? When Wooden Potatoes goes to PvP, it has to be on the right Fashion Wars. Otherwise, we're not interested in watching. Has to be the right Fashion Wars. Let's actually watch this. We haven't watched this for ages.
But you're making it even stronger.
All the signs are there. Our outermost defenses have suffered a series of probing attacks, and we've lost several long-range scouts. I'm glad we've got the dragon's attention. I want
There, you see him there saying, I'm glad we got the dragon's attention. That's a really big story, Pete. It's really important to realize that. And the devs could have used that very well. That Zhaitan is scared of us. That Zhaitan is annoyed with us. That Zhaitan has intelligently identified us and what we represent to him as a threat. That's like a powerful moment. This is a big bit like Claw Island as well, you know. In another world, the sort of the romance behind what the devs... romance, that's not the right word. The grandeur behind what the devs are going for here could have been realized, and it would have been so cool. Oh, it's not the end of the chapter. Oh, it's not the end. We have to we have to kill Tactician Siska now, don't we? Oceanside Ordnance. Fuck. Up here? Delivering justice up here? I don't remember the instance up here. Is this because we chose... Is this because we went for a different branch before, where we went up to Ascalon? Why don't I remember this? Let's see. I haven't watched all of your Merciless plays. Have you made it through to the end before? Yeah, on a Ranger, which was extremely easy, but had its moments. The end of the game is quite scary. The next chapter is quite scary. There's probably 3 or 4 big moments that are coming up that we could possibly die. First is the Abaddon Temple instance, underwater. Really difficult because it's underwater. You also got the sharks. You got lots of scary damage. The boss fight at the end of it as well is a real challenge where you have to fight the mouth. Not the mouth. You fight the commander after the mouth and the eye TP away. That's a challenge. So it starts difficult. There's the mirror instance as well, which can be a little bit difficult. There's Keita Mance, which is definitely difficult and a proper boss fight there. And the final instance, Victory or Death, has a pretty challenging moment on the airship where you're fighting the dragons just before Zhaitan, right at the end. That's like the real final boss, the dragons. It's actually challenging at the very end of the game. Which I thought we were going to be on this stream, but this chapter's taken forever. So Christ knows how long the final chapter will take. What about Fell? What do you mean? Fell? Sorry? I love how that Angry Lith told me on Reddit about the amount of time to make a video should be a part of the judging. I don't think he had any idea how much time it took for me to do my video. Let's not be mean about people, especially when they're not around to just have a conversation. I really don't want to get into that. But on the point of doing a competition like that, and the idea, should we account for time taken to make the video? I think that I understand where that comes from. It was something I wrestled with as well. But I don't think it's a good road to go down, because some people take longer on videos just because they're slow workers, or because they don't know what to do, because they're indecisive, because they lack talent, because they lacked initial resources, for all kinds of different reasons. There's also how to measure that. It would only ever be my estimation of how long it takes to make a video, and I could do pretty, as a video maker, I could do pretty well estimating that. But is that a road that I really want to go down? I don't know. And I don't want to get into... If you formally announce that as well, oh, it was who took longer to make their videos, it leads you down a weird road where people can be upset saying, oh, well, I took 20 hours. And then someone else says, oh, shit, I only took 19. Don't worry, I'll lie about it. I took 25 hours. Well, I took this amount of hours. You know, I just don't think it's a particularly easy thing to quantify. And it's just not... It's not smart. There's a lot of stuff like that. The other big one as well is... do people win because they deserve, because they play more of the game, right? Like, some of the winning spots I gave were to people who might not even play much Guild Wars. To them, it was just a small project. Like, I think the guy I gave second place openly admitted that he just did it, like, pretty quick and easy. It wasn't a big deal for him. He didn't think about it much, and he went off, and he did it, and there you go. And he won second place, and there's kind of a thing, all right, if it wasn't even that important to him, did he care? Does he deserve it as much as someone else? Who feels this competition is the most important? Do you get what I mean? And that again is something that you might think, oh, that's a good idea to think about, but I think actually leads to some odd places if you actually try to formalize it. So that was another thing I didn't really. It's not easy. I don't think that there's a yes or no answer. I've got some courage behind what I chose to go with, though. I think at the end of the day, since I ran the competition, that's okay. If someone has an issue with the way I ran it, maybe they can run their own. And I will question this. All right, so there you go. That's it. Finally, we're done. All right, straw polls. So a quick little look here. We get our final specialization. This is pretty huge. So we hit level 80 first. Final chapter of the game unlocked. Sweet. Okay, thumbs up. Now, what we're looking at is domination. This is for our third route down here, okay? So, we're very low pressure. Domination might solve that. Shatters do more damage. Okay, this might be nice. With the way that we've been handling the greatsword, this might be nice. The game hasn't given us any better weapons just yet, so... I think greatsword is our highest level gear at the moment. Which actually matters on Merciless. No, this is level 40. It's the Scepter. Scepter's level 60. The Focus is level 10. So, I don't know, but we'll probably get a greatsword very soon. So, Domination might be good for Imagined Burden, seriously. Because the Might is actually worth something. Fragility. Deal more damage for each stack of Vuln. Quickness on Interrupt. Get Distort on Signets. We are running a Signet we could Distort with. And it's a Cleanse. Shatters remove boons. Dazing applies Vuln. Don't forget that Diversion is a Daze. That's how it functions as an Interrupt. Shatters inflict Vuln, which then chains with this. Fragility. Illusions do 15% more damage. Yeah, I think this could be a good combo for our Phantasms. This might actually help us. We're at the point now where we're running Condi damage with no Condi gear, and because we're level 80, at low levels, it's insane, and Condi's really strong. But it's terrible now. Now that we're level 80, a lot of what we've got from illusions, like well, we're not running Ineptitude, are we? Ineptitude isn't even illusions, is it? It's what's Ineptitude? Is it chaos? Anyway, look, the friggin' the Scepter shit that we're offering, right? The Torment, the Confusion on Cry. None of this does anything for us anymore, really. It's not very strong. So this might be nice. Either way, we're going to be low pressure, but if we can just get a bit more somehow, that'd be nice. So there's Domination. Dueling is next. Clone when we dodge is impossible to use. So here's an Ineptitude. Maybe we could just spam blinds out more. I mean, this is kind of nice, the blind spam. Crits do more damage, but we'll be critting really infrequently because we have low precision. But we do have Fury, which is 20% crit without needing any precision. Fence's Finesse we won't get much advantage of because we don't really have the swords that we're using at the moment. We haven't spec'd that way. Oh, this is blinding Hold on. Blind foes around you whenever you use a Shatter skill. In dueling. What was the other trait? Is that always been a dueling thing? I'm so fucked up with what line has what. I don't know what else dueling has for us, really. I don't know, man. Desperate Decoy would be really solid. Illusion Start Bleeding might be alright. The Reflect after evading. So that's a Reflect on Evade, not a Reflect on Dodge. It's a Reflect on Evade, which does mean something for if we Distort. Because Distortion is evading. And, I don't know. That's probably not very useful. The amount of projectiles that will come at us, I don't know. We'd be much better dealing with that through feedback or something. And then finally, Chaos. Stab on Shatter isn't very useful. But then we do get Might when we Mind Rack. PU, obviously. PU is pretty solid. I mean, this is just much bunkier, though, right? This is a lot tankier. Chaotic Persistence is kind of cool. We can run Condi, but based on our toughness, which we have barely any. Gain Protection when we gain Regeneration. It's kind of nice. Less damage for the illusions we have in the world. This is just much tankier. So, I mean... It's up to you guys. I haven't really given you a great description there. Which is going to be our third line. None of them are interesting to me because I know we're not getting any faster through the run. And I already feel sturdy enough. That's the thing. I already feel more than sturdy enough. So getting even tankier isn't like that exciting. But, so there's going to be a link in chat, guys. If you look at chat right now, it will already be there as I'm speaking. And what you want to do is click over to straw pile and just vote on which line, chaos, dueling, or domination. It's up to you. The one with the most wins, and we will run that as this Mesmer. As every other facet of this Mesmer has been, is Twitch chat built. So Dusty is saying pick domination. Isn't distortion in Vuln, not evade? No. Distortion used to be in Vuln, but then they changed it to evade. Didn't they? Oh no, is it functionally in evade? And in Vuln? I can't remember anymore. I can't remember either at the moment, because most builds in PvP at the moment, where I would be facing it, are reflecting as well. No, is it? No, I'm pretty sure it's an evade now. I'm pretty sure they changed it into evade. I know it used to be in Vuln. I know 100% it used to be, but I think a change went through that means it's an evade now. Alright, so what are people saying here? Let's see. Domination is the most. I think Chaos would have been solid. Probably if I'd really been pushed, I would have gone Chaos, but Twitch chat has spoken. Not too many votes on this, but Twitch chat has spoken. Half of you want Domination that voted, so there you go. Domination it is. I'll just buy all the way into the line since it doesn't matter. Alright, so Domination. What did we get here? We got Vuln when we interrupt, which we'll do very rarely. Vuln when we daze, which we'll do fairly frequently, so that's okay. More damage with higher Vuln on them. So what do we want to run? Imagine Burden probably, because... Which is weird. I never run this Grandmaster. So that's cool. I mean, Mental Anguish is kind of cool, because it's 50% more damage if they're not doing anything, and it's PvE. They won't be doing anything. Power Block might also be cool, because this is just like Guild Wars 1 Power Block, which is that it disables the thing that you interrupt. So it doesn't just go on full cooldown, it goes on longer than full cooldown. But if you interrupt an auto, it won't do anything. So if you hit a key ability with this, it's actually kind of amazing. I fucking love this trait. There was a Mesmer build, it was broken for... Valen, do you remember this? There was a Mesmer build when Chaos Storm was bugged for a while in that it would daze and stun at twice the speed it was supposed to. There was a power block. I fucking loved that build. That was my favorite Mesmer spec I've ever played in PvP. And obviously it was broken, but it was amazing. It was basically like it would spam interrupts on people. It could even interrupt dodge rolls, I think. And it would spam flat damage every time you hit one. Oh, it's so good. I loved power block. I'm sad that there's not really... Because I'm guessing the power Mesmers at the moment run Mental Anguish, right? Probably not power block. I don't know, though, actually. Anyway, yeah... Right, we'll get Distortion on Signet. Is anything going to have a boon? I don't think there's any boons that we fight, because it's core. Shatters inflict vuln, or... This is a difficult choice here. I guess the 15% damage always, since we're not going to have 15 vuln plus. Alright, so illusions do more damage. Alright, there you go. So just a bit of damage there on domination. So there you have it, guys. That's our third specialization. That's basically us geared up now, except a couple of weapons, which we'll get in these last steps. And I think the penultimate story step will give us a level 80, not exotic, rare weapon, which hopefully will be a good one. It was really good on the Ranger, if you remember, because it gave us a longbow, finally, after a long time. So I'm looking forward to that on the penultimate step. So now, one more straw poll, guys. Do you want to see me start this? The next instance is going to be the underwater instance and a possible death. Or do you want to see me do like 2 games of PvP? It would be on Fresh Air. So what do we want to close the stream down with here? Here's another straw poll. We'll let people vote. Now that you're all warmed up from this high energy Mesmer build, time to PvP. I know, my brain's like rotted. It will be really slow. I'll play terribly. I play so bad on stream as well. I don't know whether you've been watching me stream PvP, but I play a lot worse when I stream. As a patron, is it okay if I ask a few more questions about the contest, or would you prefer in Discord or in the Super Q&A? Go to Super Q&A if you want. I mean, like I said, not probably this Wednesday coming up, but the next one, we'll have a Super Q&A rolling, and it might be fun to do it there. Why not both? Because I've only got a limited amount of time I want to stream for. Alright, so it's fairly split here. But we are 60% PvP, so a few more people want to watch PvP than Merciless right now. A few more. Merciless obviously will return, guys. I mean, that feels bad because it's like you're going to lose 40% of your viewers the second you swap, you know? It almost feels like that. But yeah, okay, so we are going to... We'll do the PvP since you guys voted on that, 60%. So we'll run that. Merciless will be back, though. We will continue with this Mesmer. It will just be on the next stream. So yeah, goodbye for now for the Mesmer, who has survived. And the slow Mesmer gameplay, I guess, we'll come back to on another stream. I guess the waypoint will be safe, so we'll do that. Alright, this time, I'm actually going to remember to dodge my heal. Bind my dodge and my heal. Which I forgot yesterday, if you guys remember. You love watching me PvP, to be honest? Well, let's hope we actually get some games. Because if... and by that, I mean some games with some back and forth. If it's a slam dunk, it'll be boring. If, you know, if it's against me, it will be more than boring. It will be frustrating and horrible and sad and make me angry. So let's see, let's start here. Let me check my reward track. So we just started another Crystal Desert one. I've almost got the Istan cache done as well now. I got a ton of shit in here. So by the way, if you compare yesterday's stream to today's and look at my gold values, that's basically the difference between one reward track in PvP by playing ranked. One reward track, and I think you're probably looking at about 50 gold difference, which is pretty nice. So I could get these, but I'd need some more marks. So how many we got? We got 1,200 Ascended Shards again now. I don't know though. I don't know whether I want to go for the next set of Ardent Glorious or upgrade this set that I've already got. I don't know. So does anyone have any questions? Because we've kind of changed gears quite heavily here. Does anyone have any questions, any thoughts, any feelings about this? To get me off on a topic, and we'll see. I would expect the queue... By the way, people keep asking me about queue times. The average queue pop is probably around 3 minutes for me. The worst I've ever seen is like 6.5 minutes, maybe 7. The worst I've ever seen. It's very rare to get a 6-minute queue. So, I mean, it's really not that bad. And I think for most players, you get faster queues, because if you're down in like gold, if you're like maybe 200 lower than me, something like that, you'll probably get pretty quick pops. And I'm a bit lower than I usually am right now. Even though you feel like you play worse PvP on stream, it's interesting and helpful. Super helpful to hear you talk about why you do things, and it makes people overall better. And if more people understand it and start playing because they see you play, then that's cool too. Well, that's kind of the hope. So there you go. What did I say the average queue time was? About 3 minutes? Oh, it doesn't show us anymore, so that's fine. What class do you think would be the weakest in high-end PvP, and why? Well, it's the weakest build. It's not class, remember, Igjustice. It's not really class. But the weakest build I'll give you. Okay, weakest class at the moment, I think, is Rev. I think Rev is the weakest class. I think Ellie, which I'm playing right now, is the second weakest. And the only reason that it's second weakest is not even because of this build. It's because of a different build, a more sustainy, bruisery, or supporty Tempest. Tempest build instead of a Weaver build, seriously. So that's why I would rate Ellie a bit higher. I'm not very convinced by many Rev builds at the moment. And it takes something special to see Revs do well. For elite specializations, probably the easiest worst elite specialization in the game is Renegade. Unfortunately, I know, Royal, that you loved that Renegade when POF was coming out, but it's just, practically speaking, it's just non-existent. The worst potential build, though, for high-end play, like everything I just mentioned, though, is they're still solid builds overall. They just can't compete at the high levels, I would say, of leaguing. The actual worst build would probably be like just something nonsensical, like a healing thief, like a bunker thief. Not even a healing thief, not a support thief, a bunker thief. Someone who's like, I wanna sustain nodes as a thief, and they spam dodges. But they're on like tanky gear, so they're spamming like Death Blossom for evades, but they're not actually doing any damage or something. I think that would be like the worst potential conceivable build. Slow to move around and loses nodes really easily and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah, like I actually think what might be more interesting is thinking about Chronos from PvE. Or like what PvE build translates worse to PvP. Maybe Starf Ellie, that's terrible. By the way, I haven't looked at all what's going on here. So it's Skyhammer. I really hate Skyhammer on this build. This build needs like kite space. It needs movement. And these are all cramped in close quarter places. Every one of these players is a target though, so that's fine. No firebrands on either team. Or potential firebrands. So again, we start the fight by double tapping into air to give ourselves swiftness and our friends. We should have done on the gate. Watching for this Mirage. I popped my... so he just sword stunned me. So this is really bad right now, by the way. He's faster than me. Even with my sword speed. I'm going to watch for him to get bored and go try and back cap, and I want my Thief to come back and do that with me. My Thief's not going to, so I can't take that fight on close. I'm going to support him over here, though, because my friends are dying in mid. I did nothing in mid, and I know that that's being lost, but I can't do anything else. I'm going to fully out this NG, so he's an S. The Thief's going to push that. I'm going straight to the node, because we actually need to get on one. So we can take the Newt here and burst him into his second S in a second. My Thief's not good, and he's gone down already, so that's not good. I've rotated into the wrong attunement here. We will still get the kill, by the way. He might jump us, so I'm ready to Obsi Flash. So here it is. Okay, he hadn't even popped his heal. This is gross. I'm now being jumped by the Thief that went for the back. That's come from mid, by the way. He obstructed my burst, so that's bad. This Thief's probably got the kill on me now. Yeah, there's just nothing. Just to be clear, not a single engagement worked here. My team's done nothing, and I've done nothing. At this point, I can't do anything, especially on this map. Against SD, like, you can't, like, kite anywhere. This is, like, the only safe place on the map. This thing here. If I can jump up here, this is a no-blink spot. They can't do anything. And you can burst people from there, but you need a little bit of map control. I can't get caught on the road being burst between them. I don't know how my guy died to a fucking holo there like that. I wish he would have just left. This guy is watching because he knows I'm glassy, so he just wants to push me. So here I'm going to do that preemptively. He wasn't actually going for me. He was going for the Scourge. Smart, actually, anticipated that. Here I'm being... I mean, this is basically being spawn camped, so this is really a game. You'll notice that they're on loads of points and we're on none. Here I'm being free cast on by a Scourge. I'm actually going to go around the side of here because it's closer to my allies. So they might get annoyed, be like, why are you coming here? But I'm actually doing this for safety because of this Scourge here, who now will be outnumbered. There, I shouldn't have burst like that. I should have waited and watched for his first dodge, or I should have started in Earth and gone for Arcane Blast, which would immobilize him. But there, so that's a suicide from a Scourge. That's a bad Scourge play. That's textbook. Don't do that. Why would you push fire into the enemy's healers? They respawn. But that's fine. So here is kind of a little bit more complicated where I want to go. I'm going to go for the Newt on far, and then I'm going to come back and reinforce mid straight away as that Scourge respawns, which is what he's looking for. I didn't see the holo. That's low awareness from me. I know that my Thief's in there. I'm just letting him establish something before I go. So he stealthed again. I'm expecting the jump on me, so I'm actually going to go for the jump pad, which are a little bit different right now. Okay, the Scourge came on me. My Thief's doing nothing. Alright. That flame wall was a waste of time. Okay, so a hammer's up. We've got a Scourge up there, which I'm really happy with, so that's fine. Here, we can burst this this target here. Like I said, they're all targets. We're being chased by this Thief, obviously, so we're going to pressure him. Here, I'm going for the no-blink spot, so one dodge. It's too late. I think I'm fucked. We're going for the blind. We got it. We can do one more dodge. There's not really much else I can do. I can kite into the thing, and then when he comes out of the other gate, so I'm okay. We didn't have the target. He can't blink up either. Our debuff's gone. He's going to come down to us. I'm going to use the FGS to whirl into the wall when he does. Healing in the meantime. We've got Arcane Shield, so we can burst him. Okay, we're good. It takes a lot of effort to get a Thief away, as you can see. He got me with the poison! What the fuck is this? Oh, I guess he blinked to me. This is bullshit, though. My team has less awareness than theirs. They got the res before me. I can't... This is the thing with this build. It doesn't have anything. If there's not even a remote foothold on the map, you can't do anything. There is a downstate player over there, though, which is interesting. So I'm 2-2, which is just trash. Music's too loud to hear me. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me drop that down. Alright, there we go. Okay. So, probably an over-rotation from me there, but I want to get that down and make sure that they can't come in and reinforce. This holo scares the shit out of me right now. I'm in swirls, which is where a lot of his damage is. He's just standing in Photon Forge, so I don't know why. Scourge is on me. That's fine. I don't mind. And now he's just... What is he... So this Scourge, like, if you think about what this Scourge is doing here, like, why would you go on the node? He doesn't do anything on the node right now. Like, he's just suicided. That's all he's done there. He's just suicided. I am a bit interested in the fact that I did have some allies here, and now... sorry, they had some allies here, and now they're gone. And I don't know... By the way, this is an example of the barrier update, which really benefited the Scourges in a big way. I'm actually going to leave him there, because if we're actually going to make any winning plays, we need, like, a long rot on someone. My Scourge just lost to theirs in mid. I don't know why. It didn't look like he was outnumbered or anything. I guess you just can't trust people to win 1v1s, and that's fine. I'm not going to get salty about that. So I'm going to move up. I'm going to hope that that Scourge takes ages to die. He's self-resing, so we're just going to click that. And now we're going to go up to mid. Hold on, the fight got pulled down here. The thief's over here, so... I wasted that cooldown there, really. Obstructing, just making sure he's not going to do anything. The only thing that is scary to us is torch stuff at that point. Okay, he's down, that's fine. I don't see the downstate icon on the minimap anymore, so that other guy got up or just let himself fully die. I'm going to close. I haven't been watching what's been going on here, so I don't know who it is. If it's the Mesmer, I'm not happy. If it's free cap, I am. It's free cap, so we're okay. I have to hope that our team fighting people up here can actually make a play. Hammer isn't actually that strong for us right now. But if they keep committing to it while we start winning the rest of it, that's fine. I mean, a Newt on point A is okay. They're Newting here as well. This is fine, though. If we win the Hammer, this is a good fight here. Because the Hammer will strike them as they get blown up. I'm watching for any potential back caps from Danny here, as you can see. Where did he go? Oh, he cancel cast my shit there, which is really annoying. So we're going to come up here so that you can't just easily camp in on us. I'm just going to watch for... I'm basically watching for him going into another engagement now. He didn't. He came to me. We still have the nodes. I'm pre-casting swells just in case. Actually, there's no reason. He's not DP. I don't know why I did that. So they're just going to spam that. I'm outnumbered now. I need to leave. Danny's probably going to follow me. I'm watching for the move on the chase. The Scourge is following me. I could probably jump that Scourge on the road. If he comes around, I'll turn it back on him. Okay, so that's one burst. All of his barrier gone. Staying behind the pillar. Thief is going to cap that and come at me, so I'm going to the no blink spot. I know that my guy was down there, but... Oh, maybe I could have rezzed him. Yeah, maybe I could have... No. Now the Thief's here. I couldn't have rezzed him. He messed up. He messed up the jump dodge. We burst him. I mean, I'm majorly like, this isn't really. I mean, the build is weak, right? So I can't peel out of stuff. But the fact that I'm constantly in the, I'm looking for a crit here so that I can cleanse and obviously flesh. But I got nowhere I can go. Do you see what I mean? Like, there's sort of nothing. Nope. And then the torch 5 got me. There's sort of nothing I can do if we don't have anything. And again, I really don't like Skyhammer on this map. So there's not much I can do. Jebro just posted how Dr. Disrespect has 343,000 viewers on his comeback. Yeah, that guy proper blew up. I don't really know what the story is there, except that he... Well, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Should put the flame wall on the down necro because it really prevents them for a long time. Hey, that's a good point, man, actually. That is a good point.
Charging the lake.
Flame wall lasts ages. And they can't get out of it as a necro. So who's at point B? No one? I mean... We have closed the gap a bit, but they're about to tick over to 400. It'll be very obvious how far away we are. So this portal, obviously, by the way, we can expect the Mesmer to come through it. And we could have dipped through. He's down on the road over there. And again, I want to be limber. I want to be mobile. I want to be helping these people. It's annoying to be stuck sort of picking this up. So they're going Hammer. It's Necro Holo at Hammer. They actually over-rotated to Hammer. None of us are there. So I'm expecting one of them to come back out. It was the Holo. We got the early burst. Danny's going to jump up to us, so no blink spot. He went back up to hide. As you can see, we can actually target him like that and track. Oh, I just trolled myself trying to lightning flash over to him. Good dimwit. There, I was actually trying to dodge that. I was too slow. He's still underneath us. I don't know why. Burst him as he goes up through the air because he can't do anything about that. I could have used this. No, like... I'll try to go to close. They're close now, but look, we lost our close. Yeah, and the NG is still here, so... The swells are protecting me from his 4 right now, by the way, which is what he really wants to use. So again, burst him in the air, hide behind the pillar for a second. I mean, this is... I tried to dodge that and I didn't. Like, this is not easy. Close quarters like this against a fucking Holo. This is not a fight that I want, really. I want to be rotating into engagements that are already underway, not being the one that dictates them and hope my thief eventually pluses. He finally is now. But I haven't even broken one of his S's yet, and the game's over. So, a bit of a shit game for me, but I'm not really too salty or upset about it, because there wasn't really much opportunity, I don't think, there anyway. I don't know how many bad plays I made there. I know that if I was on Mirage... So, a big difference, right? Why this build is actually bad is if I was on Mirage, I could have played a lot more aggressively and fast around the map, and I could have used portals to displace them more and pull more newts. And I could have been there on some engagements with my friends that I wasn't on this. On this, if you noticed, I was sort of caught in no man's land a lot. And maybe I could have rotated a bit differently, but you need... Here's the other thing about Skyhammer, especially with a thief sticking on you. You need to be able to see what's going on. You need to be able to see where people are when they're far away from you. You need to understand their positions and if they're looking at you, if they're hunting you. On Skyhammer, outside of that central area and the no blink spot that I was stood on there, it's really hard to see where everyone is and to understand, even with the minimap, right? Like, so when you're on those nodes, the side nodes, and even to an extent mid as well, it's just so easy for people to get around on you from one route or another, and it's not easy for this build. The opposite example is Colosseum. Colosseum's like the ultimate map for this build, just because you can so clearly understand where your danger spots are and where people are aggressing from, and you can get out of dodge early. Not to mention the secondary mechanic, which is the sword, and just, you know, makes you kind of an insane powerhouse. So Kylo is a great map for this as well, because it's strong on the side points. Forest can be tricky on this map, because again, it's a bit more closed in various places. But at least it's got very clear lines of sight as to the routes people can move around. So Skyhammer is honestly the worst map for this build. I think Skyhammer's probably, if you guys are wondering, well, so what builds love Skyhammer? Scourges love Skyhammer. Skyhammer's amazing if you're a Scourge, because you can easily just stand on the side of a node. They're all fairly small points, and you can free cast very comfortably and just sort of annihilate everyone. They did a recent change in Skyhammer. You never saw me go up to the hammer today, but there is a node up there which used to be on a very small platform, and you could knock people off. They did an update where they made the platform bigger, so you can't really knock people off up there anymore, which is lamentable, but it does give a bit more space to kite around. Before that patch, though, Scourge was insane on all the engagements. Mid, sides, and up there. Scourge is just so powerful. Again, also, I think playing SD Thief is probably really fun on that. So here you'll see I'm voting Colosseum, just because it's where I'd excel most. But yeah, Scourge, SD Thief's probably really fun on that map as well, especially if you're in these little fights that hop up and down between the levels. You can just stick on people really well. NG probably does well Holo. As you saw there, I had to rotate into that Holo. It's such a disadvantage. What key bindings do I have? They're all on my mouse. I use a Logitech G600. I used to use a Razer Naga. I use a Logitech now. And, it's very good. SD, so Valen, who plays Thief, says, it's not fun on that map at all. It's terrible using flanking strike on narrow platforms. You just fall off. SD also prefers open fields. That's interesting. DP is very good on Skyhammer, though. Interesting. No valid path. Well, yeah, I guess that's true, actually, because obviously if you use the jump pads, you can sustain a lot. So we got Capricorn, which is also a fairly open map. They look like they have a support this time where we don't. I'm guessing this guy's a support. I've seen him been playing other things as well. So what a support means is the team fights are much harder. Realistically speaking, though, this build, supports don't threaten me that much, because all you got to do is snap someone down the second a support isn't looking. or that they rotate slightly off of the support. And realistically speaking, when it comes to leagues, there's still a lot of opportunities to be made. In fact, Valen in chat, if you guys go watch his VOD from yesterday, I'm sure you'll see it. He was in a match against me, and he was at a mid-fight on Temple of the Silent Storm. He had a support, we didn't, and we won the mid-fight. And we won the mid-fight because I burst their Necros down, and the support didn't do anything because the Necro wasn't humping him enough. So that happens quite a lot. Here, I'm happy to take close, that's fine. So there's lots of different reasons you'd want to be the guy that takes close. High mobility and high damage builds excel at it. A, because they can get to the node quickly and you can roll a couple of points. But also because what's going to happen is I'm going to move to mid after I capture this, where people have used their cooldowns up and stuff, and I can unload. So that guy has just forced me into this engagement, which I'm not happy with. There's a Prime Light Beam. See, when I'm talking, I can't get the dodges. I prioritize telling you guys before actually pressing the fucking button that would save my life. So I've got a Thief on me. I need to get on the boxes, otherwise I'm fucked. Reflecting because he's rifle attacking me. I'm fucked anyway. There's actually no way out of this, I don't think. Oh, Ashy's scared of me. That's hilarious. I can maybe... No, he dodged it. No. I can't do anything. 2v1, I mean, so that's the downside of sending me to close. If you send a squishy person to close... Okay, so basically that's why I said it was good to go close. Why it's bad for this build to go close is this build has no way of really getting away. If this was a thief, if I was a thief, if I was a Mirage, if I was in this same role, you know, like a power Mirage, right? Or a power Mesmer, they could stealth and disengage. They can move out. One of the reasons Fresh Air fucking sucks is because it has that incredible downside. It can't peel out of stuff like this. It can't. Unless you can counterburst someone, you're stuck. So it's like a terrible play to have me go close from that perspective, and they pressured and succeeded with that. So here I'm noticing this guy, and thankfully he is low. So here I felt like I had secure stomp because of the swirls. So I swear he interrupted my fucking evade there. There I rotated right through Earth, which I really didn't want to. I don't know why he just let me CC him like that. The torch was good. Wasted plasma beam. The Scourge. Come on, bro. Yeah, he's okay, that's fine. Alright, we're going to rut him because there's no need to stomp him. I'd rather be him on long respawn. He seems to want to kill me a lot, which is fine. So respawning Holo will be going to that close node. So unless we reinforce it quickly, it could be pretty bad. Alright, here he is. You saw he just walked in on the node. My guys are all stacked together as well there, which is fucking awful. There's a portal. Is that our portal? So they have support here. So this is actually a really bad fight. I'm not actually that interested in this fight. I don't think we're going to win this. Look, we're already down. So I'm just going to leave before they decide to eat me. Bell is up as well, which I'm concerned about. That Thief will be on respawn, and he's probably going to nuke mid. So this is going to put us against the Thief again. I'm watching him here because this is what my Scourges. Bell is coming up in 10 seconds. The Scourge is rotating to be in position for that. That's fine. I don't see the Thief anywhere. I see a Scourge alone on the road that I can jump, though. So we'll push him there. He's going to be a powerhouse up at the Bell as well. So we want to get as much damage on that as we can. They don't really have any sustain on this fight right now. So if we push, we can actually do something. I need my friends to not die too quickly, though, and rally bot everyone, which is sort of what he's doing. We're using the FGS for cleave here. And we get the stomp so that he doesn't rally. That's good. We win the Bell there. So the Thief's gone all the way to close. I don't know when he did that. He must have stealth passed. I'm going to try and take the fight. This is not in the bag. He came even quicker at me than I expected there. I want him to fight me. Come on, fight me, fight me, fight me. He's not impressed me so far. By the way, air attunement, as you rotate into it at the moment, is infinite range. It's not supposed to be. It's totally bugged. You can cheese a ton of kills out, though. If you're in combat on long lines of sight like this, I have actually scored a, like, 2,000 range kill with that bug just in the past, like, 2 to 3 days. So if you are playing this build at the moment, it's kind of a funny thing to utilize. I'm watching behind me. So here he's going to jump with Bassi, so I'm just watching for the early... I didn't really play in range very well there, but he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, I knew that was going to be close. We might kill him anyway. No, he's withdraw. So that's fine. I'm essentially 1v1ing over my node here, by the way, just because it's happening here. I'm going to precast Obsi Flesh. There it is. And we get the kill. I don't know why he'd ever take that engagement. He might not respect me as a player, I don't know. But that's fine. Why this guy came to the node, I don't understand. This guy is potentially... I mean, he's sort of just holding them 2v1. That's a support fire Scourge. So I'm just going to trust that my Firebrand will peel out. And I'll help them win on this engagement here. Me trying to DPS through the Scourge is not going to be... through the Firebrand, supporting the Scourge it's going to make people think that's a team fight when it's not actually. Nothing's going on. So we can just help him clear that with a quick and easy plus. And we can move back. So this is kind of a boring game again now, by the way, because none of their players have really made any plays for a while now. So we're just going to win. There might be an epic comeback, but I seriously doubt. So now we outnumber them significantly enough that we can push through the Scourge. I'm going to nuke the Firebrand as he tries to res. As we do there. Here I'm watching for the NG. I'm actually going to rotate into Phoenix on this one. Over the Firebrand's body. Resin? No. So that's the Phoenix burst. It's actually quite rare to do that on a Weaver. We're going to go for the kill with the Lightning Flash after his second S. No, we're not. We're going to Plasma Beam him. I cast that too early there. That's fine. Back to mid immediately. I just looked up at the minimap to make sure that the Thief hadn't crossed to our close, which he hadn't. I don't know where he is. Is this a Soul Beast? It's a Soul Beast, so that explains quite a lot. Soul Beast is like fun. It's a lot of the build I'm playing. It's not really... Its ability to make plays is limited. Let's just put it that way. So he's Signet a Stone right now, which is why I went for the CC. I just wanted to hold him in place for a second because my damage doesn't mean anything for now. So I've been jumped by the Thief again. I'm on the pot because that makes it annoying for him to hit me. Swirling Winds in case he swaps a short bow. He's probably peeled out and he's going for the decap on our close now. So I'm just watching there. I don't see him. Obviously, it could be stealth. I'm ready for a Lightning Flash over if I do see him. He's over here in mid. So here we're going to kill him with a Lightning Flash infinite range. No, we're not. No, we're not. We might. Well, we sort of did. If I had time to tap, we would have killed him with that. But we didn't. I'd already double tapped. And yeah, now we're kind of watching respawns. I trust that they've got that fight. I don't need to rotate into that. That's going to be a 4v... that's a 4v3 already. If this guy goes in, it will be a 4v2. We could take a fun fight 1v1 with the Soul Beast. I don't have much experience with this, so this will be fun. Again, I don't really care about losing the node, by the way. It looks like he doesn't care about gaining it. So that's his burst, which we just Obsi-fleshed. Sadly, I don't have my beam up, so that's annoying. This pet's being annoying. I'm going to get plus by a Thief. I'm pulling out now. Shit engagement with me. He might be proper going for me, in which case we're ready. Oh, he went for the Scourge. I'm waiting for his next... I thought he was going to last us. He didn't. Starting in fire so that our burst is heavier of whoever we go for. It looks like it's going to be him going to Earth instead to get the Immob. He's great sword blocking, which is pretty nice. Very rarely people avoid that. Into the Plasma Beam now. I do need someone to help though. And we just kite around and we win. Yeah, I'll do one more. We haven't actually seen a good game because one was a stacked game against us. The other was a stacked game for us. So haven't really seen a good game. Hopefully you've learnt a few things though, guys. What are people saying here in chat? Abuse and bugs. Sorry, I had to report you, WP. I know, I do feel pretty scummy. It's quite limited. It is quite limited in how you can use it, but you can use it. And to be honest, when those opportunities arise, it's always a situation where you're like, yeah, I want to take that kill. It's just so good. I always feel bad when I accidentally trigger it as well, and whether people wonder. Like, the main utilization of that is holding people in combat after they've peeled, and they're maybe on, like, 60% health. Like, here's the thing with Fresh Air, if people don't know, right? You can, I can maybe show this on a heavy golem, right? You can burst someone very hard and very fast, but it bottoms out super quick, right? So, for example, right? The standard burst would be something like this, right? This golem's still at 45% health. If he started at 60, it's kind of like you've globaled him, and it's an amazing play. But him being left at 45, which is often what happens, by the way, because people have protection, and they have barrier, and they have other means of, you know, just supporting their health a little bit, or they put weakness on you. There's a world of difference between this being a one-shot and that being like that. Even if my second burst, he's dead in 2 bursts, right? But there's a big difference between whether you get the 1 burst or the 2. So the main thing with the infinite range air achievement is if someone's just pulled out of a mid fight and you've watched them, and they've gained some distance. Maybe they've used a Druid Staff 3 or something to push really far away. And they're hoping for that combat break. Because if they break combat, they go from 60 to 100 by the time you get to the node to do the fight. So if you can hold them in combat with that bug, you can then go in and global them. And it means you can take the 1v1 with the Druid now. Alright? Or you can take the 1v1 with the NG before his internal cooldown on his next Elixir S returns or something. It means you can have confidence in pushing engagements that otherwise you just would not win. So that's the main thing that actually you can use that for. And I do that very frequently. I always wonder whether people are like, you cheesy fuck, you've just... But I mean, it is just sort of a part of the game, really. It's a bug, and what I'm saying is sort of the way that this plays. You're rotating into air anyway for swiftness and super speed to just get around. So it's kind of like deliberately de-targeting just so that they won't take what is going to be a very small packet of damage. I don't know. I'm sure people with more honor would do it. Thanks, Corvus. It's really interesting, but I don't understand what I'm doing as a Scourge in PvP. So it's kind of interesting because I don't know whether to recommend Scourge as a new build. In a lot of ways I do, because it's extremely effective without actually knowing much about the game, and I think that's very good. But in another way, it's got a very limited role. Like, you don't actually... Because you don't need to know much about the game to carry in a team fight, it's almost like... I don't want to recommend it because you don't really... Conquest is a lot more fun when you're doing more interesting things than just mid-fighting all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of a thing with support as well. Well, not really, because supports can push... If a support knows how to rotate properly, then that can be really fun as well, I think, actually. But especially if you're just like a team fight DPS carry like Scourge currently is, and like fucking Reaper was before it, I don't really know... And also when it's just sort of baked into your role that other people are responsible for you staying alive to an extent. It's almost like you get a watered down part of the experience. And you just sort of go and you do a team fight and maybe you win it, maybe you lose it. Maybe you win it, maybe you lose it, maybe you win it, maybe you lose it. And that's sort of it. And it's like, okay, what's the bounds here? You know, there's some very simple rules which you can catch on to quickly. Don't push far when the enemy team's on respawn. You know? Sometimes it's okay to not be fighting. That's another... So basically, a classic situation is, imagine you're a Scourge, right, guys? You go to the mid-fight. Imagine a map. Maybe it's Kylo mid, maybe it's Forest, maybe it's Legacy, whichever one. I'm going Legacy because I like this build on Legacy. You win the mid-fight, and they've all died. A lot of the time, players are very bloodthirsty, or they're not quite thinking because maybe they've been grinding games for a while and they're turning the brain off or something. So they push the mid-fight, and then it's like, what do I do next? Well, we won it close. We won the mid-fight. All that's left is that last node. Look, that other node. They've got that. So you will walk over to their close node. But the thing is, it's their close node because it's close to their respawn. So what people don't realize is those guys you just killed, they didn't stop existing. They're going to respawn, and where they respawn as a wave as well. Like, a big thing in this game type as well is people getting staggered, like respawns being offbeat from one another. So you maybe have a really good team and you can actually team fight and you can do well, but you get staggered and people don't take that time to regroup. You'll find in organized play and AT play and you know, synchronized play, people actually take the time to regroup, but that doesn't really happen in leagues very much because people aren't in that kind of communication, right? Not unless there's enough high-level players in a single match, which frankly doesn't happen very frequently. And then to all agree and identify that this is a moment to properly regroup because that's what your comp is. A lot of people, you know, for people, it's sort of instinctually to do that and know that it's rarer than it is common, okay, in leagues. So anyway, one thing though, one time when people do regroup, just accidentally, is if you've all just wiped. If everybody died within 5 to 10 seconds of one another because you lost a big mid-fight and nobody peeled out of it, you all just died straight away, then you're going to respawn as a wave. So that's a classic misplay. You're the Scourge on the winning team. You just fucking dunked them at mid. You globe all of them. They're all dead and they all died in a really similar period of time. Great. You've got an amazing team fight there. Then quite often Scourges will just think, oh, well, there's one more thing. I'll go far. They walk to far, possibly alone, possibly with one ally. But let's face it, usually alone, because other brain-dead people see that it's free to cap and then they just don't assist. And then all of a sudden, it's one versus all of you. Or all of the enemy team that just respawned, that have respawned as a wave and regrouped. And then the Scourge dies. And now your team is staggered. And now your excellent team fight is broken. So knowing when to play a 2-cap game or a 3-cap game based on your comp is extremely important. Okay, so here, I don't even know what we're playing with. Double Scourge and what? What's this other target? It is a Firebrand. This is a good team fight, by the way. As long as I don't get globaled. They're pushing me already. So here we just dodged all the main NG stuff. I've got the Druid on me as well here. It's pretty bad. None of them are Blink classes, so there's no point in me going on the pillar. This is really bad. They're pushing me super hard. It's okay, because right now, you might think, oh, WP, you're doing terribly. Not really, because my team is able to free cast now on whatever poor fuck had to get on the node. And I've just rotated beautifully into their close for a nuke, which they can't stop. So this is the super speed I was talking about. This is actually a great play. I'm not taking the full cap there. I don't give a shit about that. But I've just denied them points. And now what I'm going to do is clean up whoever my Scourges have been ripping to pieces. So what do you see? One down. This guy's low. This is a power Mesmer. He's running a great sword. We can burst him. He got a random invade, as Mirages always do. Terrible portal from that guy. Not good play. We're waiting for the lightning flash up, and then we'll kill him with the... Oh, I didn't get out of air. I didn't get out of air. He's getting Druid support. I'm now in a lot of danger. I'm probably dead. Trying to get back to Obsi first. Yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up. I was supposed to leave air. Then the Arcane Blast would have reprocced air and I would have killed him. Instead, I pushed the line, didn't get the kill, and got destroyed. It's just me being bad. But I have a high awareness ally who just is trying to res me. You should never really try to res a fresh air ally. If he's fucked up like I have, I deserve to die. I've got my entire team doing this, though. We won such a decisive mid-fight that they were actually capable of doing that. That's insane. Now we can try this again. So there's an infinite range thingy, by the way. They're pushing. I'm not going for that Mesmer this time. I don't care. He's too far away. I'm going back to mid. We get a kill on this Holo. Actually, we've got a Scourge rotating in instead, who threatens me more. I'm pre-casting Obsiflesh just in case the Holo retargets. So now there's two very low targets. Our support just came in. This is a win for us, by the way. Like a very easy win in mid. I just need to not go too close to that Holo. I don't know why I blinked in there. The field is down there for a blast in a second. Oh my god, he popped that thing perfectly. Ice Swirling Winds there because I was scared of his projectiles. So in the middle of the cast of the Plasma Beam there, I retargeted to the Scourge because I saw he did Elixir S. Here we're going to be pushing the Mirage. He's going for the res. That's why that Dragon's Tooth is there. I need my Scourge to notice. We need poison on that body, otherwise he's going to be able to res it. Mirage got scared and ran off, which is brilliant. I got CC'd by the NG as well, which was kind of dumb. We haven't got sides, and I haven't been focusing on that enough. I don't know what happened on close. I think it was a long time ago, though. Our Holo's rotating into that, so I don't need to go there. And now I might have just caused a serious loss here. It's okay, we got the burst. Plasma Beam, if I was really good at the game, I could Plasma Beam the Reza that was behind and cleave the body at the same time. I don't really have my keybinds for targeting set up well enough to do that, though. This guy's blind. We're watching. This is really important versus Power Mesmer because his stun is like super premium. I'm watching for the Scourge, and I'm hoping that my guy can get that rezzing Ranger. The Ranger's being rezzed by a pet, which means that he can... I really don't... I mean, I do lose nodes on this, but I really don't want to lose mid while he fucks about with that. He didn't do it. This is now really bad with 3v2. Go for a kill on him on the ledge. We missed it. The Holo isn't going to get off of us, by the way. He's going to keep chasing us. So here we take no line of sight for days. We're going back to our base here, by the way. All the way. Unless we see that they stop chasing. We've got trip cap, so this is really good. Everybody from the side engagements is going to rotate in now. If our guys had sustained that mid-fight just slightly longer, we would have been really good. Fuck me. This is no skill gameplay. This is what Rangers exist to offer. If you want to score kills and pressure people and take people out of mid-fights without paying any fucking attention, play a Ranger. Smoke scale pressuring me. We can take this Mirage, who took a safe spot in front of enemy spawn, which was bad, but is understandable in the middle of a mid-fight. Holo's low. He's stealth, but we Plasma Beamed him anyway. We're rotating out to Arcane Blast to go back in. We're rotting that body, and we're going up to push this, whatever it is, just to check. All right, it's Druid, so we can't fight that. That's fine. We're watching for their respawns. It feels like a 4v5. No, it's not. So someone made some play somewhere there. I don't feel like it was me. So here I'm just watching their respawns and practicing climbing on this because I find it fun to climb on this. He's fighting on that road there. Random dodge. That's me being bad. I shouldn't get baited into random dodges like that. There's no need for it. Watch that. Mesmer will jump me. He wants me more than anyone. I'm hoping the Arcane Blast gets the kill. He had double S. That's fine. He didn't jump me. Interesting. We can go for the NG still, by the way. He's still the priority target. So we jump him like so. There's 2 unswirling winds because he's on rifle at the moment. The one behind me, that one's dead. So now we go back to the other. We hide inside the shade because that's good Condi damage. I think he overheated. We dodge the prime light beam. We're watching for it. Plasma beams up. We kill him with it now. There you go. Good. Right. That might have been an infinite range kill there as well, by the way. Now it's just the Mirage. Our Holo's done very well staying alive. That Gale was not intentional. Okay, now we leave because he's rotating around. He's coming into mid, and there's Scourges to kill. Scourges are very fun to kill, by the way. They're very easy to kill. Okay, so that's fine. I would rot that body. I'm now looking to this node because he's probably going all the way around like that. Since we didn't see him here. Or he's returning. I don't know, one or the other. It looks like he's returning. This druid looks low as fuck. I think I just saw him signet. Did I see him signet? No. I didn't burst him very hard. That Holo's leaving. We can maybe turn this around. No, we didn't. We're not going to turn that around. We're going to leave. This is their spawn, so we want to be careful of this. I'm just watching to see who goes where right now. Yeah, he left the druid. If the druid had rotated up and it was just the